From the eastern part of France, final round of the Evian Masters from the Evian Masters Golf Club, and it is shaping up to be a good one. Jam-packed leaderboard. 18 players within 4 shots of the lead, including the Nordic powerhouse Suzann Pettersen. She's just 3 shots back of Inbee Park and Stacy Lewis. Stacy, one of a number of Americans on this leaderboard in France. She is among the best-known figures in her sport, achieving a level of fame typically reserved for a player with a double-digit victory total. And yet Natalie Gulbis has won just once, here in fact at Evian 5 years ago. But Natalie's a magazine cover, a touch of glamour and a grinding game, and so people watch. Now, though, with a real chance to prove what she's always believed, but others may have doubted, that she's a golfer first and a winner above all. Just a shot back of 2 major champions, Inbee Park and America's best, Stacy Lewis, with Paula Creamer, Hall of Fame legend Webb, and Christy Kerr very much in the mix as well. It's the final round of one of the LPGA's most distinctive tournaments. From France, it's the Evian Masters. Golf Channel, in association with the LPGA Tour, proudly presents final round coverage of the Evian Masters from Evian, France. Unquestionably, it is one of the most breathtaking venues in all of golf, all of the European charm, and those incredible views high above Lake Geneva. We're right on the border, France and Switzerland. And it's just spectacular. A little bit of rain yesterday after a week's worth of ideal weather. It has cooled considerably today. Temperatures hovering about 70 with a light breeze, but still very pleasant. Evian moving to September next year, and it will become a major championship. They love their golf here in France. Some 400,000 members of the French Golf Federation could see crowds upwards of 10,000 on this final day, and they could be treated to another thriller. This tournament has a history of producing some exciting finishes, and today could be no different. And hello again, and welcome to France. Rich Lerner, pleased to be alongside World Golf Hall of Fame member Judy Rankin. And Judy, really, this is all you could ask for.
Yeah, this is everything you could ask for. It's some of the best players in the game. It's a Hall of Famer. It's some very young players. It's a 17-year-old amateur. Every kind of player at every level in this game that is a potential winner has a chance to win today.
We talked about Natalie Gulbis just a moment ago. How capable is Natalie?
You know, I think there's a little misconception because it is such a pretty package of a person, and there is so much promotion and so many things that go on in Natalie's public life that aren't golf. But I know from her coach Butch Harmon that of all the people he's taught, she said she is one of the very hardest workers in the game, and he gives her a lot of respect for that. I think she's somebody with a game that is slightly underrated, and I think she's somebody we should give a chance to do something, because it's very, very possible.
Just a shot back, has played in the Solheim Cup 3 times, and has been a consistent fixture inside the top 60 on the money list. And while we have a moment, let's go down to the putting green. Jane Crafter is with Suzann Pettersen.
Thanks very much. Just a few minutes before Suzann goes to the first tee. Suzann, how do you feel about your position, and what do you think it's going to take today out here at the Evian Masters Club?
You know what, today's a new day. I never really thought I was going to be in this position that close before teeing off yesterday. A bit surprised none on the top kind of ran away, but it makes it more exciting for all of us, and I think there's a lot of players in contention here, so it would take a good low round today, so we'll see.
Now, let's talk a little bit about your putting. You've worked very hard on it. Stroke looks good this morning. You like these greens? Do you find them hard to read, or you've had a lot of experience here?
Well, after 11 years, you started starting to kind of feed off the experience. This will be my last year, so I bet just make the most of it. I have a lot of good notes in my books, but like I said, this is the last time we'll play on these greens, so from next year, it's all from scratch.
Well, thanks so much for stopping by. Good luck today.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Back to you, Rich.
As Suzanne mentioned, this is the last year. In September of this year, the golf course will close and undergo a nearly $7 million renovation trying to get it ready for next year's tournament. It will be the 5th major on the LPGA Tour, so the very big dreams here. With regards to the scoring out there today, we've seen already there are some low scores out there.
Yeah, and there's been a 63 here shot this week. But we've already mentioned that there are 18 players within 4. But go a little deeper, those 18 go to -7. If you go to -6, you have a whole nother group of wonderful players who certainly it houses many experienced winners, but there's a name you haven't seen very often. It's the first time she's played on the weekend in an LPGA event, and that is Cheyenne Woods, who sits at -6.
It's Tiger's niece. She's in the picture
Yep,
here, and she's
she
a very
is.
impressive player.
Yeah.
You talk about someone with a whole package. That's Cheyenne Woods, has Tiger's electric smile.
Yep.
She's great charisma.
Yep.
I think a lot of people are rooting for Cheyenne to, push through and maybe make an impact out here.
Couldn't be nicer, and she's proving this week she's got some game.
Joining us this afternoon on the telecast, and we are 6 hours ahead here in France. We have Jane Crafter, we've already seen. Tom Abbott is with us. He's a veteran of the Evian Masters. And Jerry Foltz as well, who's with Natalie Gulbis. Jerry?
Thank you, Rich, very much. Natalie, this is the side of your first victory on the LPGA Tour. How much would you like to make today your second?
That would be great. I mean, it's been a while since I won on tour, and this was my first victory here at Evian, and this is just such an incredible event. So I think every day you get a chance to not only play here, but to be here in France. It's pretty spectacular.
You've got a lot of experience on this course with some seemingly blustery at times conditions. What do you expect from the course today?
Well, it's sunny now, so hopefully it stays like that. But what really makes this golf course difficult are the greens and where you are on the greens. If you're above the hole, you're just going to be trying to lag it up there and get to the next shot. But if you put it in the right spots, you can make a lot of birdies out here.
But you said yesterday, I mean, so many players are talking about how tricky these greens are. And you said in your press conference yesterday, you love these greens.
I do. I love the greens because you have to be creative. And on every single hole, you have to be in the right spot. If you have a left pin, you have to be short right of it, because if you're above it, you're going to be putting towards the water probably, and it's going to be quick. And I just like the creativity of this golf course, and every hole is different, and you got to hit a lot of different shots.
You'll have a lot of fans out there today. Good luck.
I hope so. Thank you.
Thanks
Bye.
for your time.
And a number of players have already gone out 4 under on the opening 9. Beatriz, Recari, 4 under. Amy Yang, Brittany Lang, all going out in 32. So it figures to be a low-scoring day, and really just a race to the finish line. It is almost always a one-shot separation here. And we'll come back with a final round of the Evian Masters in a moment. $4 a.m. Eastern Time. We are with you for the entire final round. Full 18, and who knows, maybe a little bit more. We've had a few playoffs here as well at the Evian Masters. Golf Channel's presentation of the Evian Masters, presented by Societe Generale, is brought to you by Evian, Live Young. By Dick's Sporting Goods, every season starts at Dick's. By the new Titleist Velocity, powered for distance to power your game. And by Bridgestone, your journey, our passion. Well, it's a pleasant day here in Evian. Lots to do on the lake. It's that distinctly European flavor. And that's why so many players continue to come back year in and year out. And this tournament has grown. And next year it will be the 5th LPGA major. Kari Webb just 1 shot back, teeing off in about 20-25 minutes. She's with Jane Crafter.
Your pre-round routine on the putting green. Kari Webb, nice enough to stop by for a moment. Kari's super round of 67. When you finished yesterday, did you have any idea you'd only be 1 shot off the lead?
No, I didn't. When I finished, I was 4 shots off the lead, so I was hoping that it was only going to be about that many. So 1 shot off the lead was definitely a surprise.
Now, what is it about this golf course that brings out the best in you? You're a prior winner here. You've got to feel pretty good about your chances today.
Yeah, I mean, I've played well here. Obviously, I have won. I think you know, I'm glad I'm in this position. I've played really solidly all week, and like I said, I'm glad to have only be one shot back, and we'll just see. I think experience counts for a little bit out here, and I've used that to my advantage this week. Hopefully, my game plan will work out today, and I'll have a chance coming down the last.
Terrific. Well, we wish you the best of luck. Get back to your routine, and we'll see you out there.
All right, thanks, Crafty.
There you go. Thanks, Rich.
Thank you. 37-year-old World Golf Hall of Fame member with 38 wins, 7 majors. Here's Paula Creamer. Her last win was the U.S. Women's Open. That was 2 years ago. Winner here in 2005 as a teenager.
This is Paula at the second, the par 3. The par 3 playing 158 yards today.
Paula's 8 under and 3 shots back, beginning her round. Still waiting for the final groups to tee off, including world number 3 Stacy Lewis, tied with Inbee Park here at the Evian Masters. Natalie Gulbis just about set. Could be another big day. Evian, France. We're in the eastern part of the country. Paris, about 300 miles northwest. We're actually fairly close to Geneva, about an hour away, just around the lake, so right on the Swiss-French border. West of Evian, at the end of Lake Geneva, is Geneva. Evian Masters Golf Club with some holes that go all the way back to 1910. Fairly rich history of golf in this country. They will host the Ryder Cup in 2018 outside of Paris. Right here it's Inbee Park and Stacy Lewis, a couple of major champions. Hyo Joo Kim, quite a story, has already won professionally in Korea and Japan. Bidding to win now on the LPGA Tour, 17-year-old amateur. And a hard putt for Paula Creamer. A little bit more left.
A great example of the difficulty of these greens and how they break.
Now to the first tee. Carlota Segunda, 22-year-old from Pamplona, Spain. Played collegiately at Arizona State. Playing alongside Suzanne Pedersen. We've seen a number of talented young Spanish players. Beatriz Recari playing fairly well. Alfajada Munoz won the Sybase match play.
Three-wood off the tee here at the first. It is not a real long par 4, but a little testing off the tee. It's a pretty straightaway hole, out of bounds to the left.
See how she tries to extend on the way back, Judy. Suzanne led the U.S. Women's Open at the midway point. Black Wolf Run, but struggled on the weekend, 78-75, tied for 9th. Has, though, been playing fairly well of late. And here's Fengh. She became the first from mainland China to win a major championship. She won the Wegmans LPGA Championship in Rochester. Seri Pak.
You play down to the green, 158 yards. It will play somewhat less. It slopes from the left to the right. That's a nice shot. Had a nice visit with Sayri yesterday. We reported that this is going to be her last start for some time. She's going to try to address her shoulder issues.
Back at number 1, this is Leanne Pace. Good look at birdie here. Nice roll.
Well read. It's the left to right putts that we've seen most often get lost on the low side of the hole. That's a very good start.
There's Kari Webb getting set. Only putted reasonably well yesterday. Didn't hit it her best, but as she said, that's golf. Got more out of her round yesterday than the first 2 days when she struck the ball really solid. And we'll come back with more from the Evian Masters in just a moment. Just underway, final round of the Evian Masters. Inbee Park, Stacy Lewis at 11 under. Natalie Gulbis getting set to tee off, just a shot back. She'll play alongside Kari Webb. There's a Sayri pocket number 2. This for birdie.
Similar line to the earlier par putt from Paula Creamer. Big swing from the left. Not quite.
Pretty good pace to these greens right now, Judy.
If you get going down the slope, for sure.
Suzanne Pettersson's second shot here at the first. Beautiful shot. Saganda.
Not bad. You think from the rough you're going to get a big first bounce, certainly a shot that might run out, but every now and then you hit one that comes out just soft and a little dead.
Stacy Lewis looking for her third win in 2012. She's the highest ranked American in the field, third in the world, and she's with Jerry Foltz.
Thank you, Rich, very much. Stacy, you said yesterday that you weren't a little worried about the troubles you had mid-round because you've already proved to yourself that you could throw a low one at him out here. Is it going to take a low one today?
I think so. I think it's so bunched up. Somebody's bound to shoot a low number, and you just got to just go out there and take care of your own game and see what happens.
You were grinding, the last player on the putting green, way after the Heineken Beer Garden closed, actually, last night. Are you working on mechanics or just working on something that didn't feel right during the third round?
Yeah, it just didn't quite feel right yesterday. I don't know what it was, but I needed to just see some putts go in and just feel more comfortable over it. And I was out here for a couple hours, but so hopefully that helps, and you roll a few more in today.
Speaking of comfort, you said earlier in the week that the difference between you now and when you first started playing the LPGA is that you're comfortable in this position. Do you get excited for days like today?
Yeah, I love it. It's it's what we play hard for, and my goal every week is to give myself a chance to win, and that's what I've done. And so I just got to go out there and have fun today, and enjoy the moment.
All right, have fun, keep smiling.
All right, thank you.
You bet. Thanks for your time.
She saw that putt drop at 18 for birdie yesterday to 1 over 73. Remember, she opened with a course record tying 63, doubled 15 yesterday, the par 5. Had a stretch there midway through the backside, 4 over, but brought it to the house 11 under and in that final grouping. Here's Christy Kerr. fight her way in contention with a 567 round number 3. 14-time winner on the LPGA Tour. And she is out with the 17-year-old amateur, Hyo Joo Kim. More on her as we continue from the Evian Masters. At the first hole, Suzanne Pedersen. Good approach from the right rough. This for birdie.
This is a good swinger from the other side, from the right.
6th ranked player in the world. 8 wins on the LPGA Tour, 1 major, 5 on the European Tour. Has not won this year. Still tuning up is Stacy Lewis. She's in the final grouping along with Inbee Park. But sometimes the best thing a golfer can do for their game is to step completely outside of it. Not just look at the world around you, but walk into it, immerse yourself in it. And that's what Stacy did not long ago as part of Betsy King's charitable endeavor, Golf for Africa. She went to Africa, and they do things like build homes in remote rural villages, help them get clean water, anything to help improve the way of life. She said it was a profound experience.
Well, there's Betsy King with Stacy Lewis there. Betsy's foundation and charitable organization is Golf, F-O-R-E, for Africa. If you are interested in looking it up, Catherine Hull, Julie Inkster and her daughters have all been a part of that over the last few years. I came across an interesting quote from Stacy's dad, Dale. He was talking about when she was going to go to the University of Arkansas and play golf, and she'd had such a tough run with scoliosis and surgeries and this, that, and the other. And his quote was, "We hoped she would make the top 5 on the Razorback golf team." And now look at her. That was right after they won the 2007 NCAA championships.
She's always had a little bit of a "I'll show you" attitude. She's feisty. Here is the 17-year-old amateur sensation from South Korea, Hyo Joo Kim. Again, Kim has already won professionally while playing as an amateur, professionally in Korea and in Japan. We're told she would become the first amateur to have ever won on all 3 professional tours, should she prevail today.
Well, she is ranked 7th in the world by the R&A in their amateur world rankings, but I can't think of another amateur at any age who had 2 professional victories, and this one just 17.
Correct. Right at that guy in the middle there? Yep.
It is just a short iron, but you must take it in right at the hole location. Very soft greens. A lot of rain through the night. I admit to having slept through it, but heavy rain through the night.
Here's Leanne Pace. That's at number 2. Long birdie try. See that extra rollout here today if you're not careful.
Well, that is in the direction of the lake, and that is down the hill and down the slope.
Into the 3rd, and we welcome Tom Abbott.
Well, thank you, Rich. Paula Creamer with a chance for a birdie here. And that is what she needs if the Pink Panther is going to collect a 2nd Evian Masters title. Dropped a shot at the 2nd.
2006 from Australia, Webb.
2006 Evian Masters champion, Webb.
Well, this hole today playing downwind, it was lengthened this year. Playing pretty short today with this breeze. slopes from right to left this fairway, so ideal will be right centre. Oh, this is a good solid shot. Started right centre, drawing back.
As good as we have seen, Jane.
The Evian Masters champion of 2007 from the United States of America, Natalie Gulbis.
And Judy Natalie, I think, sorry Rich, I was just about to say, just really hitting the ball solidly now, getting good length off the tee especially.
2007 Evian Masters winner, her only win.
Yeah, this also a good solid shot. Ideal.
Familiar swing, goes down after it. Finally fully healthy. And with a chance for her second career victory. Still to come, our final pairing, Inbee Park and Stacy Lewis at 11 under par. Lewis, the American, looking for that third win in 2012. Evian Masters continues. Christy Kerr up the hill, birdie putt at the first. Begins 2 shots back. She's hungry for a win. Been 2 years. Second tee, Suzanne Pedersen. Just on the front. Brittany Lang, by the way, made a hole-in-one here at the second earlier today. She's 6 under total through 14. After an excellent drive, Natalie Gulbis, second shot at number 1. Christy Kerr did make her par.
That was from 136, slightly downwind and downhill. Good solid shot.
Yeah, all over it. And a good look at birdie for Natalie Gulbis. 10 under, 1 back of the lead. Second shot, Kari Webb.
110 yards to the front, but more importantly, it's 123 up and over this tier in the green. Total is 127, but it really should play more like about 120. That's a pretty comfortable pitching wedge for Kari. Little breeze helping and off the right. And it's going towards the right edge of the green. That's not her best shot from that distance.
Getting a little bit better. But below her standards with a pitching wedge, no doubt.
I think that she would be pretty displeased with that start because you certainly expect a birdie opportunity with a wedge in your hand. Even Hall of Famers get just a little bit of the first hole edginess.
Final pairing. This is Inbee Park, 2008 U.S. Women's Open champion. Jerry Foltz following this group.
And followed both of these players for 18 holes yesterday. Inbee got off to a shaky start here with a pretty low pull hook tee shot, which was a little scary because there is OB left.
Cameras, please put them all away.
Yeah, Jerry, she told the press room, I know you read it also, but for those of you at home, she told the press room that she was pretty happy that she hung in there yesterday because it was not her best.
No, but she finished it off awfully strong with that incredible 4 rescue to the last hole. Unfortunately missed the eagle putt, but she talked about what I noticed yesterday since the last time I followed her.
Whoever that is, I will take it away.
Might need to tell him that in French. But anyway, she's picked up quite a bit of distance. That was evident on 18 yesterday. She hit it 35 yards past Stacy Lewis. And that's a little right. Actually, a lot right. What a ricochet, though. That might leave her a chance to get it on the front of the green from there.
On the tee from the United States of America, Stacy Lewis.
Nice and solid. No first tee jitters there, it didn't appear.
27 years old. She has had an outstanding season. 14 starts, 9 top 10 finishes, and already 2 victories. And so they're underway here in the eastern part of France. Final round of the Evian Masters. First hole after a poor wedge shot, Webb. Long birdie putt.
40 feet, it's got a couple of different breaks here, going right to start with and then back left towards the lake at the end. Pretty well judged for speed there, Judy.
Yeah, it's the first person we've seen get it to the hole, Jane, from that position, and it's just outside of that range where it's good.
Second shot at number 2, Suzanne Pedersen. Beautifully done, maybe in. Wow. Exquisite touch. Suzanne Pedersen. And number 4, Paula Creamer. With the nice birdie at the 3rd.
Long time on the putting green for her before she hit balls today.
Birdie putt at number 1 for Natalie Gulbis. Good run.
That was a great effort. Just a brush with the edge of the hole. She really looks solid with her nerves. She looks completely relaxed and ready to play.
Hold still, please. Hold up.
Undeniably would be a huge boost for the LPGA Tour if Natalie were to go on and win. Segunda from Spain. Oh. Go down. Tough to regroup after that. All right, second shot, Stacy Lewis at number 1.
That was from 143 to the hole, playing downwind and pulled it a little, maybe trapped it.
Oh, that is a tough little shot from Snaggly Rough. The hole is just 12 feet from the edge of the green on the left side.
Ball sitting down a little bit, very little green to work with. Test her nerve right out of the gates. Inbee Park. She'll settle from there.
That's just slightly better than just safe. That's a pretty good shot from the right rough. The angle from the right rough would not be simple.
Been in America for quite some time with her home base. Moved from Korea as a youngster. Actually won the USGA Girls Junior in 2002. And so All of the players are on the golf course for the final round of the Evian Masters. Tough chip shot here. Stacy Lewis third at the par 4 first.
Not a great lie and such a short shot. Pretty soft hands right there, Judy.
You know, you could only play that better if it went in the hole. That is really good.
So well executed. And though you'd like to hit the green about 8 feet away, knocking in for birdie, sometimes that gives you as much confidence because you know your nerves are where they need to be.
Well, and it says a couple of things. It might have said that, she didn't hit quite the shot she wanted to hit, but it also said that she was trying to hit it close. There was no safety in that shot.
Birdie putt for Christy Kerr.
You've seen it over and over. Hard from left to right. It gets quick at the end.
She was barking about midway through. Pretty good roll. Inbee Park at the first for birdie.
This one's going to turn quite a bit to the left as it dies, a little slow as well.
Jerry, every single putt we've seen from this direction has been missed on the low side. She has really set it well up to the right.
Oh, good putt.
Just lacking for a little speed, or that would have went in. She figures them out pretty well, Judy.
Leaders trade pars here at number 1. The amateur Kim, Webb, Gulbis, all at 10 under and a shot back. Michelle Wie, by the way, shot 73, finished 6 over. And a Nordqvist at number 4, this for birdie. And a Nordqvist to 9 under.
People ask all the time, should we leave the flagstick in? Should we take the flagstick out? You know, if it's running downhill and it's fast as a bullet, you better leave it in.
It's 9-iron for Recari. 158 today, playing 30 yards downhill. Wind predominantly left to right.
A little backup on this tee with 2 groups now. Nice
So
place to sit, Jane, if you have to. The views are not bad.
No, it never gets old. It's just a beautiful afternoon right now. Some clouds on the mountain, but right here on the golf course, it's beautiful. Playing about 3 clubs shorter. It's a 9-iron also for Natalie. And on the far left side of the tee to this right-hand hole location. Wind kind of swirling up here right now.
Always has that first little half backswing rehearsal.
And this one's starting just right and fading to the right.
You see the last group is waiting patiently on that second tee. I mentioned Michelle Wie, 32 rounds this year on tour. She's broken 70 just twice. Her scoring average is 75. Continues to really struggle. Golf Channel in association with the LPGA Tour proudly presenting final round coverage of one of the premier events in women's golf. It's the Evian Masters from Evian-les-Bains, France. And it's a really pleasant day, and we're giving this the major championship treatment, full 18-hole coverage. And next year, it becomes just the Evian. It will be the 5th LPGA major. It'll move to the middle of September. And right now, couple of major champions on top, Inbee Park and Stacy Lewis. Park won the 08 U.S. Open. Stacy won the 2011 Kraft Nabisco. Joined by World Golf Hall of Fame member Judy Rankin with Tom Abbott, Jerry Foltz, and Jane Crafter. And this is Suzann Pettersen at the third. So all pars to start for Suzann. 3 behind. Paula Creamer for birdie.
Short par 4, a really picturesque hole. And Paula leaves herself some work.
Drop shot at the second. And 4 behind. Natalie missed the green at number 2, chipped to here, so this is a long par putt.
Yeah, she had pitching wedge off the tee, Rich, and really didn't catch it, and tried a big high flop shot and completely misjudged it, so not a good hole for Natalie.
Second shot at the third for Christy Kerr.
Hole tucked on the right side of the green at 3.
Just about every shot she hits has a little bit of get up in it or get there. It's always so intense.
She's got those golf balls that listen, you know?
Kari Webb at the second.
Well, this is a part of the game that Kari has struggled with this year, as Judy alluded to yesterday. When she putts well, you know, she plays well. So, this part of Kari's, I'd give it maybe 20 feet, slightly downhill and breaking to the left.
She had a great chance at the LPGA Championship to post another big win, but she closed with 72, drove it in the rough all day, which is completely uncharacteristic, and the 72 did not match up to Chen Feng's 67 that day.
Hyo Joo Kim, second shot at number 3, amateur, just 1 back.
A little bit of a pull. It's not hard to have that happen when the ball is below your feet.
And woman she idolized growing up, Sayri Pak.
I said earlier she's going to take a break after this and address the shoulder problems that resulted from a fall earlier this year in Mobile, Alabama. She does hope to be back before the season ends, but it's time to figure it out and make sure it's not something serious.
It's a big bogey putt here early for Natalie Gulbis.
Yeah, it's not that difficult back uphill, breaking just slightly to the right.
Nine under, 2 back.
Minimize your mistake and be glad it happened early.
Guys, no cameras, please.
Get a good look at the hillside and the terrain as we go back to Inbee Park.
As Jane said, the yardage book has us playing 30 yards downhill, and she mentioned the swirling winds. It's predominantly from the left, but you can't really feel it on this hillside. Inbee going with pitching wedge, just like Gulbis did in the group before.
It's a difficult putt from the left side of the hole location, but it's really where you have to play this shot. And it is a very small green when you're standing on the tee box.
Yeah, pretty shallow looking. It's only 3 steps behind the hole location, so you don't want to take it at it because you're pretty much just guessing where that ball is going to land from an elevated tee this high. That is comfortably left and a mile in the air.
Actually hitting over the fans, sitting on a fence there. That's the main road into the golf course. Hyo Joo Kim now. This is number 3. Just off the green. Birdie try. Lewis at 2.
Also a pitching wedge. That's just a little left of the hole, if it's enough.
Short par 3, but you wouldn't know it from some of the results of these shots.
It has caused some difficulties. We mentioned Cheyenne Woods earlier in the show, and she triple bogeyed the second hole, which will derail her great effort this week.
Yeah, she had been 6 under to start the day, now 1 under about midway through her round. And Julie Inkster, 2 under par, great Hall of Fame member, and she's with Tom Abbott.
Well, thank you very much, Rich. And Julie just said to me, you know, I'm leading in the clubhouse. So don't get your hopes up just yet, Julie. But you're the Rolex Evian Ambassador for 2011. You just handed over the reins to Helen Alfredson yesterday evening. What does this tournament mean to you? You were the champion here in 2003.
Well, Helen really encouraged me to come over and play before it was an LPGA event, and it's been, you know, with Fengh and Jacques, they treat you so well over here, and it's so beautiful. I've fallen in love with the golf course and the people here, and it was great being an ambassador. And I don't think Helen can quite go up to my standards, but I'm teaching her the ropes. But it's been great.
Let's talk about the golf course today. Obviously, you've played with a 70. It looked as though the greens were running a little quicker. Was that the case?
Yeah, the greens are running a little quicker, and, you know, there's wind to deal with today. Coming in, most of them all downwind except 18. So it's a little tricky because of the elevation and stuff like that. But there are definitely some birdies out there, so I expect some low scores. How
about the hole locations? What should we be looking out for as the players get onto the back 9 this afternoon?
Well, I think 12's tricky. 11 and 12 are tricky. 12's right on a hump, short, long. 18's a good pin placement. I think, the greens are really biting, so if you can keep the spin off, you're going to make some birdies.
And just quickly, apparently you have a very expensive 4 days coming up. Is that right?
I do. I think I needed to shoot a little lower to break even, but that's what happens when you have girls.
Yeah, heading to Paris with 2 daughters and one of her daughter's friends, and I think it's going to be a fun time for the girls in Paris. Thanks for talking to us, Julie.
Thanks.
I'll see you in Portland.
Okay.
Rich?
Thank you, Tom and Julie. Christy Kerr at number 3. Why not take advantage? I know, Judy, you're headed to Paris as well with your granddaughter.
I am, and she's a good little bit younger than Haley and Corey Inkster, so it won't be quite as expensive for me.
Paula Creamer. In Paris, about 300 miles northwest. Hop on a train from Geneva. Be there in a few hours. Sayri Pak saves par, that at number 5.
When we talked about this break that's coming up for her, we both lamented that she is playing so very well at the moment. It could have come at a different time.
Hyo Joo Kim. Christy Kerr did make her par. We look at the 17-year-old amateur from South Korea. Think about the impact Sayri had on not just golf in South Korea, but on the LPGA Tour. Here's Inbee Park from South Korea. When Sayri won the U.S. Women's Open at Black Wolf Run in 1998, she was one of only 3 Koreans in the field. There are 30 Koreans in this field. There were 26 at the U.S. Women's Open a couple of weeks ago.
And this player was 10 and said she watched it on television as a little girl, decided to take golf seriously. 10 years later, she won the U.S. Open.
Read all of these biographies, Judy, of all of these great young South Koreans. Almost everyone says they want to be like Se-ri. They idolized Se-ri. And so not a stretch to say she's one of the most significant players in the history of the sport. Third hole, Natalie Gulbis.
That was 9-iron from 140. Just laid up with a 3-wood. Stay short of the fairway bunker.
A couple of misfires early for Natalie Gulbis, and now Recari Webb, and here's Tom once again.
Yes, the third and fourth holes play below the clubhouse, so the lowest part of the golf course.
Well, Kari laid up also with the 3-wood, but did not hit a good shot. Wasn't the best of lies either, and this is just going to hang on to that right side. I thought it was headed further right there for a minute, Tom.
That's going to work out okay, Jane. A chance for a birdie.
Indeed.
And we go back to number 2.
Stacy Lewis. It's a birdie try. Oh, that one really runs.
Just when you're looking for it to really take the break, it begins to pick up speed. There are a lot of little subtleties with greens with so much going on that play into a putt and play into your frustration.
Tough little hole. A lot of work left coming back.
Inbee Park, just to complete the thought, was the 2008 U.S. Women's Open champion. It was played at Interlaken in Minnesota, and it was just a clinic. She was rarely over 4 days in trouble.
Hasn't won since. Has won in Japan. Playing well of late, though.
She talked yesterday. She was asking in the press room about the young players in Korea, talking about the 17-year-old that was challenging her, and she said, you just have no idea how many young girls and teenage girls, in fact children and teenagers, that are good in Korea. This one from the right. Best player putter on the LPGA Tour this season, #1 in both categories.
Build a foundation of confidence with a putt like that early. Might need one of those late on a day like this. Accelerated through the hitting area. See if Stacy Lewis can do the same here.
Good putt.
No doubt about it.
This crazy little hole in today's round has played as the 4th hardest hole on the golf course.
Just a pitching wedge, par 3. Happy to get out of there with par. Sixth hole, Paula Creamer for par. Already 1 over today. Four shots back. 2005 Evian winner. And here's the 2006 champion, Recari Webb for birdie.
Well, that one had a lot of break from right to left.
Stacy Lewis on the tee at the 3rd, and oh my, this is left. Well, that is lucky. How about that? It was in there for a while. Maybe somebody threw it out. It's safe, Stacy. Well,
Thank you. I promise not to do it again.
Yeah, and I tell you, if you think back at the end of the day, that might be a moment that made a crucial difference. Could have gone anywhere in there. I mean, it's quite a steep slope, so there is a chance it's going to kick out, but you'd rather not be in there.
Christy Kerr, second shot, fourth hole.
Not quite up, and it'll go back down that little soft shelf in the green. Pink flag sticks, pink flags, pink ropes for the gallery.
Gulbis for a par at the third. So a horror start for Natalie Parr at the opening hole, but bogeys at 2 and 3. That will be a bogey when she knocks this in.
Yeah, just disappointing when you only have a 9-iron in your hands, walking away with the bogey. You know, she'd had a couple of 3 putts so far this week prior to today's round.
So Gulbis back to 8 under par and 3 behind.
Webb, fourth tee.
Got to aim it down the left edge of the fairway because this is such a severe slope from left to right. And she has done that just fine. It should hold the fairway down into the relative flat on that right side. That should be good.
Still takes a big cut at it, Judy.
She still hits the ball extremely well, and she's very consistent. One of the better ball strikers ever in the game.
Judy, is she one of the 15, 20 best to have ever played?
Yes.
38 wins, 7 majors. Here is Hyo Joo Kim, the amateur.
Hyo Joo will go to the Korean LPGA's Q school this year. You might ask, if she's won on that tour and won in Japan, why would she have to? We might watch Christy Kerr go first here. It is much the same rule as the LPGA has. Because she is not 18 years old, she does not automatically get a player's card on the Korean LPGA Tour. She could petition the commissioner, or she could formally go through the Q school, which is the plan at the moment. Christy Kerr now.
Remember when Christy came out as a senior in high school out of Miami? Those big glasses, brash. Really transformed herself through the years.
18 years old, as I remember, from Sunset High School in Miami. She had practiced and played quite a lot of golf around the Doral area at Jim McLean's school.
Beat some of the best high school boys back then.
Second at the third for Inbee Park.
From 125, Tom, uphill lie in the rough, wind blowing all kinds of directions now.
If you can see where that finished, Jerry.
Struggled to see it myself.
And now Stacy Lewis, are the trees going to have any impact here?
No, that you said it very accurately. That is a huge break. It could have easily stayed amongst that jungle up on the hill. Just 111 yards, clean view of the hole, and going right after it.
Birdie chance there for Stacy Lewis. And we'll go to number 6.
Anna Nordqvist, just 2 shots back.
Fairly long carry with this bunker shot.
Ooh, look out.
Just to carry it where she needed to, and she overcooked it.
Hyo Joo Kim, just to tie the lead.
Very quick. Well, not as quick as I would have thought. Or as quick as she thought.
It's a birdie try for Seri. Nordqvist. And Seri a moment ago. Nordqvist played the Solheim Cup for Europe. And back to the fourth. And this par putt for Christie. Pulled it from the start. She'll be fuming heading to the tee.
Well, we didn't quite know where Inbee Park had finished at the third hole, but now we find out, and it doesn't look to be a very good spot at all.
No. It's an awful spot. The uphill lie, maybe if she lofts it and lands it right about the edge of the green, she'll have a chance to get it close. But you got to take 6 out of the equation here and make sure you get it on. Not a really good lie, but it is kind of wispy. Not real lush grass right there. Very well done. Leaves her a chance, as good a putter as she is, a very good chance at par.
Well, it certainly takes 6 out of the equation, unless there is a horror story with the putter. Inbee Park, work to do to make her par. Currently tied with Stacy Lewis, but Lewis has a birdie try to come at the third.
Second shot at the fourth hole for Recari Webb. She's one back.
On the right side of the fairway, 135, playing uphill about half a club. This is an 8.
Good
That
shot.
was a nice swing there, Judy.
Very good shot. You know, she just needs to make a putter to kickstart a round, and she can go low.
Stacy Lewis, birdie putt on the way at the third. Oh, it looks so good.
How did that stay out?
A steady start for Stacy Lewis, Judy.
You learn early on when you're playing a lot of competitive golf that to not be ashamed of a break, but take advantage of it.
Yes. Easy to forget that the tee shot could have been in all sorts of trouble, but a nice bounce out of the trees. Stacy makes a par. Now Inbee Park for her 4.
The flattest green on the entire golf course. It doesn't have a flat spot. This one may be going a little right, but not much.
First drop shot. And Inbee Park will drop back to 10 under par. Only player on that mini leaderboard who has had a bogey on her card. It's going to be a fascinating battle. We could have a player that sets the target early. Beatriz Recari not quite out of it, playing the 15th hole at 8 under, but she would need a really good finish to get in the minds of these players.
And Natalie Gulbis at number 4.
Oh, and this is a pretty swift putt. She had about a yard of fringe to go through, Rich. Slowed it down.
Already with 2 bogeys in the first 3 holes.
And that's a tester for par now.
Natalie's 3 shots back. Paula Creamer.
It's a third to the par 5 7th. And that sets up a chance for Creamer, who is at 7 under. Currently in a tie for 18th. 2 par 5s in the closing 3 holes of the front 9. The 7th is a par 5 and the 9th also a par 5.
Stacy Lewis, 4th tee, 1-shot lead.
Nice solid looking tee shot there up the left center. Regardless where you hit it on this fairway, Rich, you're going to end up in that same little collection area on the right. And because they're playing lift, clean, in place, doesn't matter if you end up in a divot.
After the pull at number 3, nice to get one down the middle. Kari Webb.
Well, important for Kari to get something going. Yeah, that was very good timing for her.
And that is it. And to complete a thought of a little while ago, this is a player who is not afraid to go low, but she's got to get some cooperation on the greens.
A picturesque look from behind the 5th hole down towards Lake Geneva. And Christy Kerr. Of course, will be soft. You can see that with a lot of spin on it. A lot of rain last night, as I mentioned. It bucketed down overnight.
You've got to put the ball in the back portion of this green to have a birdie opportunity today. The hole is really deep in the green at 5.
The colourful Hyeong Park at the 7th. Hyeong Park quietly moves to 9 under. 6 consecutive pars to start her day. The first birdie there coming at the 7th. The winner of the CME Group title holders at the end of last year. Now back to the 5th and the amateur Hyo Joo Kim. She turned 17 on the 14th of July. Already has plenty of lucrative sponsorship opportunities coming her way when she turns professional.
So that birth date would confirm both professional wins. She was 16 years old.
Incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Natalie Gulbis. It's a crucial par putt here at the 4th. Steady. 3 shots back.
Yeah, I need to get some extra swing then up there.
To 7.
And Paula Creamer trying to get back to where she started the day. Talked about that club being crucial for her success. She struggled with it of late and didn't practice any putting in the 2 weeks off between the US Women's Open and the Evian Masters. Did a lot of work on her swing but didn't touch the putter until she arrived here. Kari Webb, Stacy Lewis tied at 11 under par as we look out across Lake Geneva, known as Lac Le Mans by the French, taken from the Roman name Lacus Lamanus. It was named by Julius Caesar. Kari Webb, tee shot at the 5th.
Oh, less than a driver. This is headed down the right centre of the fairway, working back. That is ideal. A bit of a helping breeze here on this hole today.
Yes, the wind hasn't really been much of a factor this week. We did have some rain yesterday.
And at number 4 looks like Inbee Park, ready to go.
She is indeed 132 yards up the hill to that whole location on the back plateau. Going with 9-iron down in the fairway. It felt like the wind was pretty much into you from the left. Just left of the hole. Just gonna come about a foot short of being a very makeable putt.
Stacy Lewis.
this from 128 yards. Also a 9-iron. Not a big one for Stacy. Looks like she's setting up for her little fade. Exactly what she's done. Excellent shot. It stays, and it does.
Just a clean, solid strike right there. Lewis tied with Webb.
Now the fifth. And Christy Kerr, birdie try. Coming off that drop shot at the fourth. Christy at 8 under par. Inside the top 10 at the moment. Was only 3 behind. Seventh hole, third shot for Siri Park. Siri not looking particularly happy with that one. Still a chance for a birdie. And back to the fifth hole. We talked about the South Korean players being inspired by Siri Park. We'll move to another generation now. Hyo Joo Kim, inspired by Na-yeon Choi. Na-yeon Choi was inspired by Siri Park. Kim for a birdie at the fifth.
And Na-yeon Choi, the most recent major championship winner. She won at Kohler, Wisconsin. She had difficulties here this week. Shot 71 today to finish -2.
A moment ago, Inbee Park. This for birdie.
Up the shelf right there.
It's at the fourth hole. And plenty of work left. Park dropped a shot at the third, began the day tied for the lead with Stacy Lewis. And this for the outright lead.
Should go a little right. With a smooth stroke, and that's what she worked on yesterday afternoon. Felt like the hands were getting in front of the ball at impact, but not to be.
So all pars for Stacy Lewis, tied with Recari Webb. Now for another birdie, Paula Creamer. This birdie the 7th. Good run. Bang. Paula Creamer to within 2 at 9 under par.
A good putt at the par 3.
Heating up with a putter.
Second to the fifth now for Recari Webb.
Just a gap wedge, 106. The important number is 102 to carry the ridge, Tom. Little downwind. Oh, and that has to move.
I've seen a few players come up shy here at the fifth.
Oh, that's a disappointing effort there.
Yeah, there needs to be an adjustment with the softness of the greens today. You're just going to have to fly the ball that little bit farther.
Inbee Park trying to save par at the 4th.
It's an inside right putt. Ooh,
looked like she putted that just a little bit.
My heart beat it a little faster. I don't think hers did. She has this tremendous composure on the golf course.
To the 7th.
And Siri Park with a birdie chance to get to 9 under.
She was so gratified with the win for Na-yeon Choi at the U.S. Open, and she really feels as though she has left a legacy that will be there for good.
Oh, I think nobody would doubt that. Incredible the way she has really given the gift of professional golf to South Korea, certainly on the women's side of things. Anna Nordqvist now for a birdie. And Nordqvist moves to 9 under par. It's not right off the Swede. Nordqvist hasn't had a win for 3 years. Won twice in 2009, including a major championship. The Wegmans LPGA Championship. So became a Rolex first-time winner at a major championship. About the amateur, 17-year-old Hyo Joo Kim, trying to win for the first time on the LPGA, having already won on the Korean and Japanese ladies tours as a 16-year-old amateur. Karine Shea, the Frenchwoman, has moved to 9 under. And Momoko Ueda from Japan, playing the 12th hole at 9 under. 5th tee, Stacy Lewis.
Well, clubbing back again, mostly for the elevation of the fairway, and that was just striped.
Players climbing back up from the lower part of the golf course, and they'll make the climb as the front 9 snakes its way up the mountainside. Curry Webb for a birdie at the 5th.
Well, you know she's annoyed that she has to putt from this point about 45 feet up and over this ridge. And this is 3-putt territory. That's pretty well judged for speed there.
Jane, are you allowed to utter those words?
What, 3-putt territory?
This is 3-putt territory?
Well, it is. You know, Judy, it's very disappointing. I mean, when you've got a gap wedge in your hand, not to get it the correct distance.
And we'll go to number 6.
Hyo Joo Kim. Upwards of 5 major Korean corporations, conglomerates bidding to sponsor the amateur superstar, turning professional later this year.
And whilst Hyo Joo Kim waits at the 6th, we'll quickly pop over to the 5th. Natalie Gulbis.
Just about 6 feet closer than Kari. The greens really are quite a bit softer today after that overnight rain.
But you're starting to be deep enough into the golf course now, playing the 5th hole in this case, that you realize what's up, and you have to start making that adjustment. It's Sunday. This is the day. This is the game. You don't have any more time to learn. You have to perform.
Second shot at the 6th for Kim.
Birdie at this par 4 yesterday, but that one sounded very thick and heavy, and in fact was.
Said she never took time off from golf until last year.
Very difficult green.
Took 4 days off, went shopping with her mom. And 16 green, move ahead. This is Beatriz Recari, 4 under on her round today.
Well, as we watch the Spanish woman putt, I will tell you, after dinner last night, I was walking in the town area, and I saw a gentleman that I thought I knew, and I got a little closer and gave me a kiss on the right cheek and on the left cheek, and it was Victor Garcia. And I said, "What are you doing here?" That is, of course, Sergio's dad, and he has been teaching and helping Carlotta Segunda. So he was more than just an interested spectator.
Well, Beatriz currently tied for 11th.
Time for 11th, which was only 3 behind. And of course, there is a par 5 18th to come. Natalie Gulbis now for a par at the 5th. Well done. Natalie, a former champion here, the winner in 2007, and afforded the luxury of staying in the Hotel Royal, which is the beautiful 5-star hotel here in Evian, where the past champions are given an invitation to stay.
Christy Kerr.
Much better place from which to play, that being the center of the fairway.
Back to number 5, Kari Webb with her par attempt. Kari Webb remains at 11 under, tied for the lead. Won a couple of times at the beginning of last season. So made a resurgence. Now waiting back in the fairway, Stacy Lewis.
Second shot here, just 105 yards to get all the way to that hole location, and you want to just about fly it all the way there, but it does kind of slope away just past the hole. Line's just left of it. Distance is just right.
That's a good one.
That's one of the things that has made her such a good player this season is she's really good at the yardages.
Beatriz Recari, and that's par. 8 under, 3 back.
Now the 5th, this is Inbee Park.
5 yards closer, 100 from the first cut of rough. Maybe a little tougher to spin it if you fly it up top. Right at Stacy's ball. Almost hit it.
2 of the best of the day.
Oh, we have plenty of players with a chance to win the Evian Masters. Kari Webb and Stacy Lewis tied at 11 under par. Back at the 9th, it's Paula Creamer coming off back-to-back birdies. And this is a par 5, and that'll be for a birdie, so Paula Creamer with a chance to get to 10 under and just 1 behind.
And that's what you're looking for on Sunday. You are looking to make the turn and be in the thick of it.
Hyo Joo Kim, 3rd shot at the 6th. Par 4.
It's hard to pick apart any part of her game mechanically. She looks so solid.
Inbee Park for a birdie at the 5th. And Inbee gets back to 11 under. Dropped a shot at the 3rd. A wayward approach shot at the par 4. Back to where she started the day. Inbee trying to win for just a 2nd time on the LPGA, although she does have 4 wins on the JLPGA Tour. 7th hole, Leanne Pace from South Africa. That's for a birdie. She moves to 8 under. The Ladies European Tour went back to play the South African Women's Open a couple of weeks ago after a long layoff from that event. And Leanne Pace finished 2nd on home soil. Stacy Lewis now for a birdie at the 5th. Still remains tied at the top. Quite looks satisfied during the round. After the round yesterday, she stood behind the press conference leaning up against the railings. Just to her left now she walks by, looking out into the Alps. Being very traumatized by the way she had played the back 9 yesterday. To number 6,
Hyo Joo Kim. What a putt.
What a save.
The amateur just 1 shot back. 2nd shot now, Natalie Gulbis here at the 6th.
Yeah, and the intermediate cut of rough, very close to the primary rough. 167 to the hole. Oh, and this is heading well left.
she finds a little piece of a 3-leaf clover kind of green.
Paula Creamer at the 9th is for a birdie. It's for 3 in a row to finish the front 9. And she's got it. And suddenly the putter comes alive. It's a club that's not been working for a while. She said she hasn't felt more comfortable with the putter arriving here at Evian. Now to number 6.
Recari hit a heck of a drive here, only has 130.
So many good storylines now. Webb, the Hall of Fame member. Stacy Lewis, highest ranked American. Paula Creamer, just a shot back. 17-year-old amateur, only one behind.
Young Park playing alongside Paula Creamer. Teed off about an hour before the last group. And Young Park with a chance to get to 10 under. So a good little match today between these two. 17th hole, Beatriz Recari to get to 9 under par. And Beatriz Recari with an aggressive fist bump trying to set a target in the clubhouse.
She is playing around the golf. She was out in 32. Started the day at -4. Par here is a traditional 36-72. Look at that. 5 birdies and none of the others.
Here's another bit of a development. Corinne Ichet, home favorite from France, 9 under.
She talked this week about how important this tournament, the Evian Masters, and how it goes on, what it's going to mean for players in Europe and specifically players in France.
Inbee Park now, 6th tee.
A little bit of breeze picking up into the players, maybe from the left. That was solid, smooth, balanced up the right side, though might need a decent bounce.
Got it.
All pars to this point for Lewis.
Not only her, I believe, second driver of the round. And that one was just pummeled.
Deep-faced, big-headed, new technology driver. You could see how high she teased the ball to take advantage of that.
Great leaderboard. 3 tied at 11 under par. Creamer with 3 consecutive birdies, just a shot back at the Evian Masters. Stay connected with Golf Channel's mobile app with access to scores, blogs, videos, and the latest news on the go. Now available for your iPhone, Android, and tablet. GolfChannel.com. 3-way tie atop the leaderboard here at the Evian Masters. It's a great tournament. This is Kari Webb.
Putt that should work a little to the right.
Yeah, Jane, the great shots from the tee don't help you that much if you're not getting it in that real birdieable range.
Yeah, she hasn't hit that many iron shots close yet, Judy. Just that one on number 4. A little trouble with the distance control.
Corinne Ichet at the 12th.
Long putt at one of the toughest par 4s on the golf course. This one 412 straight away without a bounce to the left off the tee. Talked about the future of this event and said, you know, if it gets 200 girls into the game, 2 or 3 might make it to the top.
And another par putt for Natalie Gulbis. She's had a few already of this length. She started at 10 under par, a shot back. 3 behind right now. Trying to win this tournament for a second time. Her only win right here in 07. Inbee Park.
From 136 with a 9-iron, sizably left, and that's a mistake, big mistake. That's going to be a brutally fast chip shot.
Doesn't appear to be sitting up either, Jerry.
It's such a narrow little portion of the green back there, the little three-leaf clover, as you called it. Not much room right, very little room left, only 6 steps behind it, and ideally, especially from the rough where Stacy is at 132 yards, you'd like to try and keep it a little short and left, the widest part of the green, but doing that, you risk it rolling down to that front level. This is actually right and needs to go a bit. Actually, doesn't need to go.
Not too bad, just about hole high. And we're at the top of the hour. 8 a.m. in the east. We're 6 hours ahead here on the eastern part of France. It's the final round of the Evian Masters. This is one of the premier stops on the LPGA Tour. Next year, it will be played in September. It will be called simply the Evian, and it will be a major championship. Second biggest prize in women's golf, behind only the U.S. Women's Open. It draws a world-class field, and the venue's just spectacular. Joined by Judy Rankin, Tom Abbott, Jerry Foltz, and Jane Crafter. And at 12, that is Corinne Hichet from France. Probably the biggest win in women's golf history by a French woman would be Catherine Lacoste, winning the U.S. Women's Open as an amateur in 1967, the daughter of René Lacoste, the famous tennis player.
And she went on to win the U.S. Amateur, but raised a great family, never became a professional. The other French win that would be significant is Patricia Mounier-Lebouc, who won the Kraft Nabisco just a few years ago, but family has come first with her also at this point.
And Patricia is here this week, saw her last night at the Evian Gala. Sayre Parker the 9. Oh, nice, very nice.
Whatever's going on with her left shoulder might be just the right thing if she can tolerate it.
So we have so many players just jostling for position out on the golf course. Almost like the Tour de France and the peloton. All the riders grouped together, waiting for someone to make a break. Anna Norquist giving herself a birdie try at the 9.
Inbee Park, third shot at the 6th.
Needed to land that in the collar. She did still. Going to race by. That's going to be a good 7-8 feet.
Her teacher is her fiance and seems to be on the road quite a bit with Inbee. She says she has really improved her tee to green game this year. Hits less of a cut, and for those of you who are a little more experienced with golf, you might know she hits it a little longer, not hitting it so much left to right.
This is the 10th Young Park second shot. Stacy Lewis. Jerry, appear to be some very big crowds. We're told upwards of 10,000. Great support. What's the atmosphere like? Yes. Atmosphere heating up. We'll try to check in with Jerry momentarily. Stacy Lewis. First birdie of the day.
Yeah, and a function of, even though the ball wasn't on the putting surface, she got on it on the right section of the green. So it gives her so much better chance. And she was, in fact, below the hole. So if you're good enough to control where you're going to put the ball on the green, it makes a big difference.
Beatriz Recari, this second shot at the 18th hole. It's par 5, reachable. See birdies and eagles here. Haven't seen a whole lot of eagles though this week. Check that. This is her third shot.
477 on the scorecard. A big tee shot does allow you the chance to go at this green, but it is surrounded by hazard. There's just some kind of wedge play now. The hole tucked close to the right side of the green.
Nice
Very
shot.
good.
Spins it back just below the hole. Early plan in the redesign is to turn this into a long par 4. We're told it is open for discussion. This hole has been the scene of a lot of excitement. Risk-reward hole. Inbee Park now for par at the 6th.
This is also up the slope.
Yeah. And some very solid putts from that distance. And so Inbee Park is one shot back. Lewis to 12 under with that long birdie. Webb is also at 11.
Hyo Joo Kim for a birdie at the 7th. This to tie the lead. I wonder if she's going to change her plans and go to the LPGA Q School, at least petition the LPGA Tour to enter the Q School.
You know, she has said at the moment that she would like to play a couple of years in Korea before coming to the United States and the LPGA Tour, but as talent blossoms, then some things change.
And Orcus now for a birdie at the 9th. It wasn't going anywhere else. There must be a few Swedes out there. Nice cheer for Alan Nordqvist. 3 birdies on the front 9. 1 drop shot out in 34. And Nordqvist is 1 back. Let's go to 18. Big putt here for Beatriz Recari, Rich.
In the last 30 seconds or so with Nordqvist and now Recari, a snapshot of the European Solheim Cup team that will be visiting Colorado next year. Important that Europe won last year, put a little spike back into the Solheim Cup, which had been dominated by the Americans.
There are some very strong players coming out of Europe. There are some very strong players coming out of Spain.
We saw Segunda earlier, Alfajara Munoz, Recari, so 3 from Spain.
Belén Mozo, another. This one to get to -10.
Good roll. Yes. A great round. Beatriz Recari. And a lot of fire, too. Likely won't be enough to win. But a big paycheck and a great round. 10 under par for the tournament. Right now, 5th place. With all of the par 5s ahead. You'd have to figure the winning score is going to be upwards in, 14, 15 under par. And that means Paula Creamer needs a big back 9. 3 birdies in a row to this point. She'd settle for a par here, but might get a 4th straight. Wow.
I mentioned that she putted before she hit balls today. She had the earbuds in. I asked Colin Campbell, does she listen to peaceful music? He said, not at all.
Little hip hop and funk. She's bouncing right now. 1 shot back. Golf Channel, in association with the LPGA Tour, pleased to be bringing you final round coverage of a good one. The Evian Masters on a beautiful day overlooking Lake Geneva in the eastern part of France. Paris, 300 miles northwest of here. About an hour from Geneva, just around the lake. It is after 2 o'clock here in Europe, 8 a.m. in the east. Back in the U.S., Kari Webb began the day 1 back. Birdie putt right there for the Hall of Fame great. 37 career wins, 7 times a major champion. Outstanding leaderboard. Stacy Lewis shared the lead through 54 holes with Inbee Park. Do that, Stacy Lewis. That was a birdie at 6. This is the putt of the day so far. 3 birdies in a row. How about a 4th from way downtown? Yes. Paula Creamer, the Pink Panther, is rolling right now. She is 11 under and only a shot back of Stacy Lewis. So a couple of Americans out front right now. One of the all-time greats, Recari Webb, is right there. Joined by Judy Rankin, World Golf Hall of Fame member, Tom Abbott, Jerry Foltz, and Jane Crafter. Temperatures in the low 70s, very pleasant. And some overnight rains. Greens are receptive. We are at the 7th right now, and here is Recari Webb. Just misses on the low side.
She is the second all-time leading money winner to Annika Sorenstam in the annals of the LPGA. And if she were to win today, if she could pull off the win today, it would take her over $17 million in her career.
This is Julia Sergas. She too is having a good round. She is 6 under on her round today, tied for 5th. You mentioned prize money. This is a big one for the women. $487,500. First prize.
And we talked about Recari a minute ago. If she were to stay where she is, it is a paycheck of $136,000. So big payoff for the good last round.
Typically, this is Carini Shea at 13. Typically, what's a first prize on the LPGA Tour? 225 in that neighborhood, right?
Yeah, and $300,000. This is big.
We talked about the investment that Danone, company that owns Evian, is making. It is substantial. $7 million refurbishment of the golf course, nearby hotels. Paula Creamer. Four straight birdies for Creamer to within 1. Trying to win for the first time since the 2010 U.S. Women's Open. Fengh. Third shot to the par 5. Beautifully done. Maybe in. It's an easy birdie. Fengh from China to within 2. She won the Wegmans LPGA Championship, first from China to have ever won a major. And here's Sergas.
This putt for par. Julia, really a very, very good ball striker. I've watched her some very recently and pretty impressed. She just seems to have been coming along. A tie for 4th at the U.S. Open.
From Italy, remember Silvia Cavalieri from Italy won the U.S. Women's Amateur.
And she still plays the LPGA Tour to some degree. Sylvia and her mom, Vittoria, the pairing out there. Her mom has always carried her bag.
Italian Renaissance in golf with the Molinari brothers and Matteo Manassero.
Manassero is such a wonderful young man. He
Terrific
is,
player.
Quite a gentleman and really a good player.
Stacy Lewis, second shot at the 7th.
Good shot, difficult putt.
Agree?
Yep.
We have some help.
Think of Italian golf, I still think of Costantino Rocca. Beat Tiger in a Ryder Cup. And that playoff with Daly at the Old Course St. Andrews. Beatriz Recari, also from Europe, out of Spain. Round of 66. Here at 17, she heated up with a putter. Didn't she, Judy?
She sure did. She is a fierce competitor and a very hard worker. She is a winner on the LPGA Tour. She is not unfamiliar with the winner's circle.
Just a lovely stroke. She loved it, and she's with Tom Abbott.
Well, thank you, Rich. And Beatriz, just watching those highlights, you said it's kind of weird to see myself on TV, but there was nothing weird about that finish. You started the day 7 shots back of the lead. What was the mindset when you got to the first tee this morning?
Yeah, well, yesterday was a learning lesson. I shot 3 over without really playing that badly. I hit the ball really well, except for just 3 shots. And I talked to Lynn from Vision 54. And she asked me, what's your plan? I said, well, actually, I don't know. And she goes, well, just kind of, try to distract your voice. And that's what we did. And she told me a little insight from Annika and Terry that they used to talk about planning a bank robbery. So that's what we did. And that's the night today, and just trying to plan and just kind of distracting the voice and just focusing on, one shot at a time. And that worked perfectly. So, I'm very, very happy to have this strong finish. I've been close up in the lead for a few tournaments. So it's very nice to, finally, finish it the right way.
Well, you made a good run at trying to steal that trophy away from the players at the top of the leaderboard. You went out in 32. Was there a feeling when you made the turn that, I could perhaps get to the top of this leaderboard?
Yeah, well, I was 4 under after 9, and I was playing very solid, and that thought came into my mind. But like I said, I just wanted to focus on one shot at a time and just make sure that I do the right job, and I did, so I'm very, very happy.
66, you're the leader in the clubhouse at the moment. I think you're going to wait around a little bit, but you never know what happens. Stacy Lewis, 12 under, but a great week this week, Beatriz, and we'll see you in Portland. Thanks for talking to us. Rich, back to you.
I'd like to find out a little bit more. Planning a bank robbery. So Paula Creamer for birdie at number 11, and so the birdie run comes to an end at 4 straight, but still Paula just a shot back.
So Beatriz is not robbing the Evian Masters bank. I think she earned it today.
What'd you make of that insight given to her by Lynn Marriott?
Lynn Marriott, Pia Nilsson, if you're not familiar, run a company called Vision 54, and they have been so instrumental in the mental game and in part a little bit the physical game of a lot of players. It's sports psychology that doesn't seem so much like sports psychology. They have a great comfortable way with players to help players to get the best out of themselves. And one thing I love that they do, they try to make players self-sufficient.
Inbee Park, just a moment ago. Good shot, Inbee Park. I like the sound of that self-sufficient as we watch Stacy Lewis. Players so reliant now on their coaches, sports psychologists, caddies. It comes a point where you have to do it.
Yeah, no, their theory really is that they've done a really good job if their players do not need them. And that's, you could take that in another way to all the parents that help kids to grow up and to be golfers and to do all the things that help kids to become very good. I think the last step is teach your child to be master of their own ship when they put the tee in the ground on the first tee.
Great advice. Third shot on the way to the 18th hole. That's from defending champion Ai Miyazato.
And much success for Ai Miyazato because of her friendship and her working with Nilsson and Marriott.
This to tie the lead. Yes. Inbee Park to 12 under, tied with Stacy Lewis.
Beautiful stroke, beautiful tempo. Putting numbers for the year, 28.50. We should all only wish to have that number of putts for an average.
All right, Webb at the par 3 8th.
And playing 177 today downhill. It's a 7-iron.
Quality shot. This to remain tied for the lead. No problem. Lewis 1 under on her round today. And Ambassdor going to finish off with a birdie. She is not only defending champion, but has won 2 of the last 3 Evian Masters. Wherever you go, people say the same thing. She's one of the most delightful human beings you will ever come across. Ambassdor. Pretty much a smile for everyone. Great tournament underway here, the Evian Masters jam-packed leaderboard. Recari Webb. Had that dropped, she would have been tied for the lead. 1 back instead of Inbee Park and Stacy Lewis. Paula Creamer is also just a shot back. Ambassdor now for par at 18.
Poor putt from I, but nice week for her. Both of her parents met her here from Japan. She came here from LA. Her mom and dad from Japan, and her dad is her golf teacher. It's an interesting thing too. Her dad was the one who suggested she seek out the help of Lynn Marriott and Pia Nilsson, and it's been a great relationship between her and her father. She trusts him completely.
Back to number 8, Natalie Gulbis for a birdie.
Well, pretty straightforward putt here, very makeable. Slow though.
Don't discount Natalie. Dropped a couple of shots early, but on her way back. 2 straight birdies, and Gulbis to within 2.
Her secret weapon, she never gets down.
She has great attitude.
She is always optimistic.
Inbee Park tied for the lead. It appeared as though she didn't love it. I'm not sure why, unless she was looking to make it. Paula Creamer, second shot now at the 12th. Creamer is only a shot back. Had that incredible run of 4 straight birdies, including a putt at number 10 that had to be, what, about 50, 60 feet up the hill?
I was trying to do the count here with the whole location sheet, and I would call it closer to 60 than 50. Very difficult par 4. The slope is from the right to the left. From the rough, you're always fighting the shot that goes left.
And that one's left in the greenside bunker. Eighth tee, Stacy Lewis, co-leader.
From 177, and she always seems to make that swing that is kind of a full-out swing.
Yeah. Has a nice natural rhythm to it. And if you're wondering, where's Yani Sen? Yani Sen missed another cut. She is in a full-fledged slump right now. Lexi Thompson also missed the cut. Let's go down to Tom Abbott with a special guest.
Well, thank you, Rich, here with Jacques Monger, who is the tournament director here, an enviable position, being the tournament director of the Evian Masters. You have pretty high-ranking position in industry. Frank Ribot, who's also involved in the tournament, does as well. But you work on the Evian Masters. Why do you put so much effort into this tournament?
Well, it's a long story of friendship, first of all. When Frank asked me to take care of the tournament 18 years ago, it was a very small tournament, and we did it together. It's kind of an entrepreneurial, and with all the teams and all the people that came with us. And I think it's so exciting. I mean, again, when you have your baby growing every year, and when you have all these great feedbacks from the media and the players, and with the achievement of becoming a major next year, of course, you want to go on and to reset every year. And I think it's always very exciting.
Talk about some of the changes that we're going to see in 2013 when this will become a major.
Well, of course, the greatest change of all is the course. And thanks to the architects, American and English architects that are working on this project, we're going to have, I think, a very unique course, and especially with changes on 14, 15, 16, 17 and 18 here, a fantastic finish. The 18 changing to a par 4. And it's going to be, I think, very spectacular between the mountain and the lake, and with a lot of beautiful water pounds. Really, the course is going to be, I think, very challenging, a real major course, and very exciting for the players.
Well, we look forward to coming back here in September 2013. Jacques, thanks for talking to us. And we just found out that Jacques has a son at the University of South Carolina, so he's a big Gamecock fan, Rich.
All right. So take care.
All right, Tom and Jacques, thank you. Stacy Lewis now for birdie. Oh.
You certainly get the feeling that she likes the putt she's hitting, but the greens are fooling her to that degree that is just that quarter of an inch that puts you at the outside edge instead of the inside edge of the hole.
It's the 17-year-old amateur, Hyo Joo Kim. Third shot, par 5 ninth. One hand is as good as two if you're that skilled at golf.
8 pars in a row, that for birdie.
All right, third shot now for Paula Creamer at the 12th.
Ball appears to come to rest near the bottom of the bunker, which is a great help. Much easier to elevate the ball if you can get away from that downhill slope at the back of the bunker. Blade wide open. She does have to throw this really high and really soft, so you'll see a pretty good length of swing. Quite nice.
That left for par. This is Christy Kerr for birdie at 9. Christy Kerr to 10 under par, out in 1 under 35, and she's only 2 shots back. Now Inbee Park. This for the outright lead.
You see that little move with her left knee? She was on her way to pick that up out of the hole.
Hyo Joo Kim, this to get to within a shot.
So many align the line that they put on the golf ball to the place where they want the ball to start.
Hole of 17 and a shot back. Has already won professional events in Korea and Japan. Creamer for par, it's a big one. Wow, She is rolling it now.
I want to listen to the music she was listening to this morning when I'm putting.
Might have been 50 Cent. You don't know. Might be out of your league, Judy.
Well, you never know. I'm open for something new.
I have made that mistake before with Judy. She is very up on her popular music with a young granddaughter.
Shocked that I knew Adele he was.
Second of the ninth, Recari Webb.
Well, this is hit as hard as she possibly can, but it's into the breeze.
Just need a little hop to reach the front of the putting surface, but not too bad. Could chip it in for an eagle. You never know.
Only 10 paces onto the green, so 30 feet of green surface, maybe just a little bit less, actually, from that angle.
B Park, Stacy Lewis, 12 under par. Beatriz Recari with a 66 has the clubhouse lead. She's 2 back.
Golf Channel's presentation of the Evian Masters, presented by Societe Generale, is brought to you by Michelob Ultra, the superior light beer, perfectly balanced for the ultralight. By Wynn's new Dry Tack series, the best grips in golf. And by Yes Putters, featuring Seagroove technology for a better roll every time. Look at the world-class Evian Masters Training Center, encompassing 37 acres with quite a view overlooking Lake Geneva. 8 training modules for full swing chipping, pitching, bunker, and putting practice, along with 4 practice holes, offering various levels of difficulty for all abilities from beginners to professionals. The driving range features hitting bays with state-of-the-art technology. In this chateau at the training center, built 1903, accommodations for 7 bedrooms. And so students and players can spend several days enjoying and perfecting their games. It's a great facility here. And we have a great championship unfolding here. And 9th hole, here's Recari Webb.
Yeah, just a couple of yards short of the green, about 8 paces of green to work with, trying to put it low and skip it up there.
Recari will have that for a birdie. Get to 12 under. A number of the players were staying in that little petit chateau that we just showed at the training center. There are 7 bedrooms there, so I would assume there are 7 players enjoying the training center. They could just stroll out of the front door and onto the driving range. Shen Fengh for a birdie at the 11th. It's going to stay up. Not quite.
Jenny had great celebrations in China when she went home just a short time ago.
Stacy Lewis with a wild tee shot. Actually got a little fortunate that it kicked down out of the tree line. Ninth hole, just around the 500-yard mark. I think this would be a layup there, Judy.
Yeah, the tee shot does prove to be a big mistake because she has the firepower to maybe flirt with the front edge of the green and 2 if she drives it well. But this now is the only choice she had was to lay up, so she'll have to see if she can't try to make 4 the way a lot of people try to make 4.
Now the green as a Gulbis, this for a birdie.
Yeah, chip to this point, Tom. Pretty straightforward uphill putt, about 6 feet.
It's for 3 in a row.
It moved just a tad to the left, but it wasn't the most fluid stroke. It's a little bit of a pull.
Thirteenth hole. Second shot for Paula Creamer.
Hole on the front portion of the green. This is a little stretch of holes that have been the most difficult on the golf course. 12, 13, 14.
Yeah, starting to drop dramatically downhill. 13th plays downhill, 14th plays downhill, 15 pretty level. 16's pretty level, though the approach shots of both of those holes go uphill, and then 17 right downhill, and then 18 back to the clubhouse. It's a fun finish that will change dramatically, as Jacques Monger described in the interview. We will see a new look Evian Masters Golf Club in 2013 with all of the green complexes redesigned. Now Kari Webb for a birdie at the 9th.
Well, Tom, you know that this is a little longer than she had in mind when she stepped up over a chip. We give this at least 5 feet, if not 6, maybe just inside 6. I think it might go just a little to her right. Lake Geneva is to her right, so the general lay of the land is that way.
Inbee Park is waiting back in the fairway. She's going to give this green a crack in 2. Well done. So Kari Webb moves to 12 under. At the moment, tied for the lead, but a good chance of birdie from Inbee Park if she's going to get to the green in 2 with her second. 13th, Hee Young Park with her second. Another player is not out of the running yet. Fascinating Sunday at the Evian Masters to close out this event as a regular tour stop before it becomes a major championship.
We're at the 10th hole. Hyo Joo Kim.
From the right rough, and as we watch the ball fly, I'll just tell you while we watch this teenager that they play a wonderful event here called the Evian Masters Junior Cup. It is for players 14 years and under. It was the 6th playing this year, and for the first time in 2012, the U.S. won.
Second shot of the 9th for Inbee Park, going at the green in 2, but as she dragged it left.
Bad leave. Very tough.
You can see the shot that she faces. So Inbee Park may not be guaranteed the birdie there. Stacy Lewis needs to get up and down for a birdie. We've got 3 players tied at the top, final round of the Evian Masters. The spa town of Evian-les-Bains hosting the Evian Masters, as it has done every year since 1994. Plenty to do in the centre of the town, including the market that Judy Rankin visited earlier this week, and in fact she's brought some of the goodies with her into the booth today, and we're very grateful for that.
You can have a meal tasting at the market.
This is how things stand. A fascinating final round. 66 from Beatriz Recari, the clubhouse lead. At the moment doesn't look like it's going to be good enough to get into a playoff. A lot of talented players, big-time players on this leaderboard. Jerry Fultz back out now with the final group.
That was a very tough lie for Inbee Park right there. It was up green and sloping away once it got there. Almost about as good as she could do without hitting the flagstick.
At the 10th, Hyo Joo Kim for a birdie. Oh, could it be? Could it be? Oh. What a solid day it's been, though, from Hyo Joo Kim, Judy.
Yeah, Tom, well, we'll get back to Hyo Joo in just a minute.
14th hole. Paula Creamer for a birdie. Actually, the 13th hole. Paula looks like she's in that zone where she expects to make everything. It's been that sort of round.
When it used to be that way when she was a teenager and 19 and 20 years old, but it's been a bit of a struggle the last couple of years, and so glad to see her in the mix.
This is where Stacy Lewis's 3rd shot finished up, so this is for birdie.
Yeah, she was stunned. Her lob wedge from 67 yards flew this far past, quick and turning a lot left. Hands on the hips after a putt is never a good sign.
Yeah. In this case, the line she chose and the speed she hit it did not complement each other, and she still got to make a putt.
Christy Kerr. Right at the 10th. So Christy drops back to 9 under. Certainly not out of it. I remember par 5s at 15 and 18, the short par 3, 17. 16 is also a short par 4, so birdie opportunities over the last 4 holes, perhaps even an eagle at the 18th. And that's always been one of the characteristics of this tournament. Makes it very exciting in the closing stages. And I think that's going to be accentuated with the leaderboard that we have at the moment and the way the players are bunched at the top. Birdie try now at the 9th for Inbee Park.
Slightly uphill, probably going a little left. She can roll it. Absolutely roll it.
Inbee Park gets to 13 under par. And we have a 1-shot lead for the South Korean. To 14.
Paula Creamer.
Come on, great shot. 178 yards down the hill, the big slope from the left to the right. That is quite a good shot.
She is going to need to play some stellar golf on the way in here, the final 5 holes. Maybe 3 or 4 under over that stretch to have a realistic shot.
Stacy Lewis now for a par at the 9th.
Shouldn't be much to it, but the putts that gave her fits yesterday, Judy, were the ones that broke away from her. The sliders to the right.
Stacy out in 1 under. 1 birdie, the rest pars. Birdie coming at the 6th. Stacy Lewis currently 1 behind Inbee Park with that birdie at the 9th. She leads by 1.
Thursday, Tiger and the best in the world heading to Firestone Country Club at Akron for the WGC Bridgestone Invitational. Action beginning Thursday at 1:30 Eastern, only on Golf Channel. We'll make our way back from Evian to Akron and enjoy every minute of it. Kari Webb now at the 10th.
That was pitching wedge, playing 132, playing a little bit downhill. And I think a little less than adequate there from that distance.
This is a moment ago at the 13th. Anna Norquist with her 2nd. And a good one. So Norquist will have that to get to 11 under. Playing alongside Sari Park. Before she stepped away with that injury, she finished tied for 8th at the Kraft Nabisco, and the week before that tied for 7th at the Kia Classic. So Sari's been playing some good golf, and it continues here. Also had a good run at the US Women's Open a few weeks ago.
Birdie putt now for Kari Webb at number 10.
And just the length putt that you don't really expect to make for birdie. This really needs to start hitting these pitching wedges a little closer, give herself some easier chances.
Now back to Anna Norquist for her birdie. The 13th, and Norquist to 11 under. You may be hearing some other commentators in the background of our microphones. We are on a little gantry with the French commentators to our left and the Japanese to our right, and they get very, very excited at times. Hyo Joo Kim, second at the 11th. And that is superb. Back to Seri Park at the 13th hole. This for a birdie. Seri into double digits under par. She did get it to 10 under at the turn, but dropped a shot at the 10th. The two. Excuse me. I am corrected. She got it to 9 under at the turn, and then the birdie at the 13th moves her to 10 under. And they will walk down through the trees to the 14th tee. Second shot of the 11th for Christy Kerr now. Screaming at it to go. And she knows now she has a bit of work to do for a birdie. Can't quite see putting surface from down there. To 14.
Hee-Young Park. First time she has used the big putter, anchored putter, and using it effectively in competition, inspired by Ernie Els. No doubt throwing another log on the raging fire around the anchored putter.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a big conversation as the year moves on with the USGA and the R&A.
Do you think they should ban it, Judy?
You know, what I would say is I don't know a person who thinks that anchoring the golf club should have ever been legal. But the only thing that would keep it from being part of the rule book now is that so many players have done so many good things, so many records have been made with the anchored putter.
This to save par. And I don't think, as some have suggested, they should put an asterisk beside the records. Those who have won: Keegan Bradley, Webb Simpson, now Ernie Els. Bobby Jones won in his Grand Slam year of 1930 with a concave face wedge that was later taken out of play.
We might even talk about grooves with that conversation, but this is a key putt for Paula Creamer.
Didn't have enough from the start, and Paula is going to have to really step on the pedal to the finish line here. She is chasing this woman, Inbee Park. Second shot at number 10. And another good shot for Inbee. Chance to get to 14 under. Stacy Lewis one back. So they have made the turn into the second 9 here at Evian Masters Golf Club, with Inbee Park leading by 1. Golf Channel, in association with the LPGA Tour, proudly presents final round coverage of one of the premier stops on the LPGA schedule. It is the Evian Masters. And another beautiful day here in the eastern part of France. We're about an hour from Geneva, sitting right on the border. Switzerland and France, framed by the majestic Alps. And we've had quite a Sunday so far. Stacy Lewis, overnight co-leader. Yes, for birdie at number 6. The outright lead at that point. And then at number 7, playing alongside Inbee Park, 2008 U.S. Women's Open champion. Beautiful touch. And a birdie at 7. For a share of the lead once again. Kari Webb, World Golf Hall of Fame member with 37 career wins, 7 majors, that to tie the lead. Birdie at number 9. Also at the par 5 ninth in the final pairing, Inbee Park. One of the game's best putters. You see why. Perfect pace. Drips in. So Inbee Park to 13 under and a one-shot lead. Paula Creamer, with 4 holes to play, had a run of 4 consecutive birdies to get into the mix. Natalie Gulbis has since dropped back after starting the day 1 off the pace. Joined by Judy Rankin, Tom Abbott, Jerry Foltz, and Jane Crafter. Out to number 10, Stacy Lewis to tie the lead.
Putt looks pretty flat in terms of speed. That's not done yet.
Well, you know, Jerry, she has not played badly, but she has not really hit it close to the hole very often for the way she's been playing all week, and she's just burning the edges.
Not close enough. With tee to green, she's been pretty solid.
Shen Feng, second at the 13th. And a good shot from Shen. Inside the top 10 at the moment, 10 under par. And we go back to number 10.
Inbee Park, this to take a 2-shot lead. Inbee's 24, moved when she was young from South Korea to the United States. Briefly attended UNLV, but did not play golf there. Had a standout junior career, and in fact won the 2002 USGA Junior Amateur Championship.
She, as we said earlier, former U.S. Open champion. She has won more than once on the Japanese LPGA Tour.
Her pace has been perfect.
How about this? She has not been out of the top 10 on the LPGA Tour since the 3rd of June. Talk about being ready.
Yeah, such a good atmosphere here, Judy. It does feel like a major championship with each passing year. Lewis saves par. She's now 2 back.
I don't think you can say enough about this whole experience being here. The number of fans, the interest in this town and all the surrounding area, the interest in the print press.
Momoko Ueda is for eagle at 18. And you can't minimize the fact that Danone, the company that owns Evian, is investing serious money into this tournament. And in these tough economic times, Judy, the LPGA doesn't hear too often the phrase investing serious money.
For the long term.
Long term.
This is the 11th hole, and the second shot for Natalie Gulbis.
Pitching wedge uphill from 120.
You'll have that to get to 11 under and then 3 at the lead. Staying here with Kari Webb. Natalie Gulbis' shot was obviously a moment ago.
Yeah, it wasn't the best of shots. Kari for the 3rd shot left herself a very, very difficult bunker shot there, and that was a big miss, leaving it out right there with her 2nd.
Almost couldn't get it going at the hole location, could you, Jane?
No, there was that fringe and bunker in the way, Judy. Bad place to leave it.
Birdie try now for Sayreed Pocket 14.
Never thought she was a great putter, but I always thought she had the most beautiful putting stroke. She would always kind of be unhappy with her putting, but it's one of the strokes that if I were to teach someone, I would say, watch this one, see if you can imitate this.
Hyo Joo Kim at 12. What a shot.
She speaks no English, and if you're young but you want to feel as though you're washed out and finished, Listen to this. She has been on the Korean national team since she was in the 5th grade.
I mean, we just had a 10-year-old back in America qualify for the U.S. Women's Amateur.
Third shot of the par 5 15th for Paula Creamer. And at 11 under par, Inbee Park beginning to move away from the field. She really needs to get this ball up and down.
Get the ball on the right side of the hole at 15 versus the left side of the hole, a much more difficult putt.
And here's Tiger's niece. This is Cheyenne Woods. Not her best day, but another learning experience. Fresh out of Wake Forest. She was ACC champion, All-America at Wake. Really, you can see clearly she has Tiger's smile.
She will be in the fall Q school.
Birdie finish. Back to Christy Kerr. That's at number 12.
Good feel for the slope here. Ball up above her feet. Have to play a shot that moves from the right to the left in most cases. Hole located on the left side of this green. Good shot. Needed another half a club.
Shen Fengh now for a birdie at the 13th.
Right to left and very quick.
Shen, as we mentioned, has been home now since the victory and celebrated with her family and friends and organised events back in China after the win at the Wegmans.
Anna Nordqvist.
She's been home in Sweden for a little bit of break and loves to play in Europe, but the name of the game for her is the U.S. and the LPGA.
Recari Webb now at the 11th. Just for a par, and they've been in the bunker. So that's going to be a drop shot for Recari. She moves back to 11 under. And the first bogey of the round. That was a moment ago. Now, Natalie Gulbis for her birdie. Okay, so Natalie Gulbis fighting her way back into this tournament. Started the day at 10 under and only a shot back to drop shots at the second and the third, but she's made birdies at 7, 8 and now 11, and Gulbis is 3 back. This is Hyeong Park at the 15th. Looks like she's come up short with her third shot, so this will be her fourth. Go back to the 11th hole and peeking around the trees. You can see Stacy Lewis back in the fairway.
Yeah, laid it well back off the tee. 151, ball above her feet. That was 7-iron with a little breeze helping. Good line just left of the hole. Great shot.
Very similar putt to the one we just saw from Natalie Gulbis. Coming into a stretch of the golf course where Stacy really struggled yesterday. And now the leader of the golf tournament, Inbee Park, who looks to have driven it a fair bit further down there than Stacy. But whilst she waits, we will quickly go to Paula Creamer at the 15th. Has this for a birdie, and this she really needs to make.
We've seen that putt all week, and it certainly appears as though it's going left, and it has never done it going that direction on the 15th green.
Now Inbee Park, second at the 11th.
That was a pitching wedge from 124, 27 yards further than Stacy, and that's a little right. Oh, what a mistake there. Short-sided from the bunker. Goodness.
And it looks to have just settled down a little bit in the sand there. I'm not so sure it's plugged, but didn't look like it was sitting particularly well. We'll find out when we come back to the Evian Masters Golf Club.
Amateur Hyo Joo Kim. This for birdie. Fengh for birdie at 14. 11 under, and for the moment 3 shots back. Could be 2 depending on what Inbee Park does here at 11.
Well, for a moment there I thought it was just going to kick down towards the hole, but that is a completely different story. So Inbee Park having some problems as that left for a par to remain at 14 under.
Christy Kerr. She has fallen back.
Now Inbee Park with her par attempt. Did she hit it? No, she didn't. Just didn't quite have the line. So it's going to be a drop shot for Inbee Park. Back to 13 under, and Stacy Lewis has a chance to tie the lead. Seems as though whenever a player gets to 14 under, they can't quite stay there. Stacy Lewis did it yesterday and then fell right back.
Second shot for Kari Webb.
Hit the tree
hole.
off the tee, Rich, and just ricocheted straight left. So that was a shot of 187 down breeze. That's a pretty decent shot from there.
That is a very good shot from there. That is a real birdie opportunity, and not everyone manages to give themselves a serious birdie opportunity at the 12th.
Stacy Lewis for birdie.
It's been very good on the uphills. Oh my goodness.
It's just the way that these greens sit. The little undulations. You think it's going to go one way and it doesn't. There's so many quizzical looks from the players here at Evian, just confused by the way the putt breaks. Another occasion there. Stacy Lewis one back.
For the most current information on tournaments and players right now, follow Golf Channel on Twitter and always be connected to the game. I even sent out a couple in the last 30 minutes. Judy is now on Twitter. Big news.
I'm stalling till I think of something brilliant.
Don't waste time. Natalie Gulbis, second shot at number 12. She's 2 shots back.
Oh, this is a little pitching wedge from 128, slightly down breeze.
This was a good tee shot. It made it for a good angle. Terrific shot.
Look at this. Gulbis with a short birdie putt and a chance to draw to within 1 of Inbee Park. And a moment ago, Stacy Lewis already teeing off and is in pretty good position. And Inbee loses this one just a little bit to the right. We've seen big galleries here.
Because I mean, yeah. I mean, you kind of angered on it, so.
Carini Shea for birdie from France, and a nice performance. They have 400 golf courses here in France, 500,000 golfers, 20 French players on the European Men's Tour. We've seen Jean Van de Velde through the years, Thomas LeVay, Raphael Jacquelin, Gregory Havre. And don't forget the great Arnaud Massey won the British Open in 1907.
Karine and her husband on the bag have a beautiful baby daughter, and she was sported around the putting green the other day.
And an orchestra birdie at the 15th. So birdie of the last 3 holes for Anna Orcus. 11 under par, a couple behind. Trying to set that target in the clubhouse.
Webb for birdie to get to within 1. And she does. Now Paula Creamer's second shot at 16.
The one thing you cannot do at the short 16th, as it takes a little turn to the right and you play up to a green, is drive the ball close to the right side. You get blocked out to the green.
So she's having to pitch out here.
It is only 311 yards, but that is the mistake that you cannot make.
Paula made a bold run there, beginning at the 7th hole. 4 straight birdies to 11 under par. But all par since, and now trouble at 16.
Siri Park for birdie. Okay. Siri is not out of this. What a remarkable story that would be.
That's Stacy Lewis's driver. Possibly a crack.
Yeah, you would think that she suspects that it's been damaged in play. If the golf club, best of my knowledge, if the golf club is legitimately damaged during play, it may be replaced. If it is damaged in any way from anger, figure out something else to play with that's in your bag.
And Judy, it is not flying as far as she normally hits it, so there might be a crack in that face. I will find out after the second shot.
Jerry is following Stacy Lewis. We're ahead now at 16. Third shot for Paula Creamer.
But for one of the game's best off the tee, that was a big mistake. A chance with one of the faster putts on the golf course.
Yeah, start these points, just over the edge of that bunker.
Back to Inbee Park.
Ball above her feet here from 165. Little wind helping. The lie didn't look too bad for me. Looked like a bit of a jumper, although she has surprised me a few times with similar lies. But she is playing this to jump a bit. 8 iron, which is a big 8 iron from 165.
And you can see she had it set up well to the right side of the green.
That's where she hit it. That could have bounced a lot harder than that down onto the green. That's not a good bounce at all. Not a great shot, but certainly not a good bounce.
And a bit of work to make her par. Again, leading by a shot. Webb, Gulbis, Lewis at 12 under. Third shot now at 18 for Il-hee Lee. Superb.
She was a big part of the mix yesterday, opening with rounds of 66 and 67.
And we saw the great approach from Natalie Gulbis. And I mentioned that she was at 12 under, and this is the one that got her there. Natalie Gulbis dropped 2 shots early in her round, has really battled back, and is only a shot off the pace. And we're live with Stacy Lewis.
Flat lie, 154, 8 iron. Pretty aggressive line. Pretty good shots.
Beautiful.
She has been solid tee to green, as Judy said, though just not quite getting it as close as you need to for the comfortable birdie putts.
Well, this is a little better.
What a great tournament. And we're into the backside. And it is up for grabs at Evian. Paula Creamer at 16. This is for par.
Critical putt, really a hard putt.
She'll drop to 10 under and 3 shots back. Christy Kerr.
Ready to try at the 13th. Got to make it if she's going to have any chance, and Christy Kerr needs a really good finish here. That moves her to 9 under. She's 4 back with 5 to play.
Third shot Inbee Park at the 12th.
Wow, she had to play that right into the hill. Got it to check and release down toward the hole. That is not stone dead, but a great shot. Really, really good touch.
Lewis with a very good look at birdie.
Recari Webb with her second shot in the air at the 13th. Not going to trundle onto the putting surface. Recari a little wayward there off the tee. And we'll go back to the 12th.
Jerry, what'd you find out about her driver?
It is indeed cracked, and she was just checking to make sure she could continue to use it, which I think is ill-advised because I've seen it happen twice, both times in a men's event at Kapalua, where guys started hitting it sideways. And she said probably not the best day to try a new putter from the pro shop, or a new driver from the pro shop, as another opportunity slides by the high side. She was in good spirits about it, but certainly if 18 were reachable in normal conditions for her, it's not going to be with a 3-wood off the tee.
No, and you know, what happens very often with players is they may have a backup driver, you know, in their car, in their locker, but it's not the case this week for Stacy Lewis. So the 3-wood's a good option, and I don't see where it hurts her except at 18.
Second shot at the 13th for Natalie Gulbis. Only one behind, Jane.
Yeah, this is a good chance to get it close. 133 downhill. Good hard pitching wedge for Natalie.
And another birdie chance coming up for Natalie Gulbis.
Yeah, another good quality short iron. Tom playing very well.
Couple of top 10s in 2012. Seemingly back to full fitness. Back to number 12.
Inbee Park leading by a shot. This for par.
A little outside 5 feet. Should move a little left. Judy's talked all week about the speed and the line complementing each other. Nobody's done it better this week than Inbee Park. Nobody's done it better all year, for that matter.
Well, the tempo and the pace of her stroke never wavers, does it, Jerry?
No, and when she does miss it, hits the hole almost every time, even from 15, 20 feet. All her putts look like they have a chance.
That's been the difference. Just a beautiful touch and a 1-shot lead.
Back at the 13th with Recari Webb, just chipping from shy of the green. He's got a good line,
good.
got a very good line. Recari Webb ties the lead with a chip-in birdie at the 13th. 38 wins on the LPGA Tour, could be 39 before the day's end.
Started her career here in Europe. She was the 1995 LET Rookie of the Year.
Stacy Lewis hitting 3-wood there. Looked like the 3-wood.
Yeah, it's in good shape. Giving up quite a bit of distance on a longer par 4 on this course.
So, Judy, she does have the option to go back and find another driver. She could send somebody to Clubhouse to find a driver, correct?
She can, yes. And if she had a backup here, she could certainly send for it. But I would agree with her. I wouldn't experiment at this point. You got a 3-wood you like.
Inbee Park. So confident you didn't even need to know where it was going to finish. And how much of a disadvantage do you think it will be for Stacy?
Well, if you're a confident driver, it's a disadvantage because you know you're giving up something. But you get your mind right and you say, this is how it is.
Paula Creamer, tee shot at 17.
Paula grew up in Pleasanton, California. She played on a golf course called Mountain View. So all of these different lies, below you, above you, side hill, downhill, she's pretty used to.
Was Anna Nordqvist for birdie at number 16. You can see Natalie Gulbis has made yet another birdie. Gulbis with a birdie at 11, 12, and now 13. And she is tied for the lead with Kari Webb and Inbee Park. Stacy Lewis just a shot back. Thriller in the Alps.
I give a player a lot of credit that starts out very poorly and under the pressure and everybody around you playing so well brings it all the way back and has climbed to the top.
No question. Christy Kerr. Maybe. Kerr even par for the day. 9 under total.
Excuse me, it's back at the 17th. We saw the wayward tee shot here from Paula Creamer. She was probably lucky it didn't ricochet out of bounds. There is out of bounds down the right. And she makes the par.
I can't see Paula getting a chance to go at 18-2, but she might hit a tee shot that gets really hot on the ground, and we might be surprised.
Second to the 13th for Stacy Lewis.
153, going with 8 iron. Little right of the hole. Another quality iron shot. But to answer your question, 22 yards disadvantage here. Essentially 2 clubs, but this is the last hole till 18 that it matters, Tom, the disadvantage, having the cracked driver.
Yes, it's an unfortunate break for Stacy Lewis. You don't want the equipment to play an outcome.
Might make her just a little more determined. When she gets fired up inside, I like her chances.
Yes, I suppose there's 2 sides to every coin. She could have hit driver down the last and hit a second into the water going for it in 2. Now she's forced to lay up, could make a birdie. You never know, do you? Now Inbee Park.
And she's only 131 and a pitching wedge. Good clean contact. Quality looking shot. Very good shot. My goodness.
As we've talked about over the last couple of hours, Inbee Park has had a fantastic run on the LPGA Tour of the last 4 events, and she is going to be tough to beat if she continues this sort of form. To 14.
And the amateur standout.
Up the hill, the swing is from the left.
'17 and contending at professional events. Increasingly common in the era of early achievers. Parents and kids singularly focused on one sport create those experiences that mirror the professional ones, tournaments, trainers, coaches. Now Natalie Gulbis tied for the lead at 13 under.
Well, this group having a great time while they were waiting, just having a very pleasant chat and a little laugh. I think it's a good pairing for both of them. So I'm playing 178 downhill today. A little bit of breeze in their face. Plays at least a club downhill. This is a good looking shot just left of the flag.
Natalie has the ability to hit the ball just rocket high.
Well, maybe half a club short there, Judy.
I would imagine Butch Harmon is watching back in Las Vegas. Not sure where Butch is right now, but Butch has been Natalie's coach for some time. Good friends.
I wonder if he's been to bed. It's quite early over on the West Coast. He may have gone for the all-nighter to watch Natalie Gulbis. We're on at 3 a.m. Pacific time. Sayri Park. Still has a chance. That'll get her to 12 under if she knocks it in. Back at the 13th, Stacy Lewis. Taking a look at this one, and all week long the players have been foxed by these greens.
Been what?
Confused.
Oh, okay.
Foxed.
Fox.
You don't use that?
I do
Good
now.
word. It's a good word.
He's gonna go with that from now on, Tom.
This is the first one in a while she hasn't called Travis in to help. She really started over-reading them for a while. And you can tell she's unsure about her reads. Many players are here. They're difficult to read, to say the least, but she's used to making her fair share from this distance. I've got it just turning a little left. And I misread it as well.
Well, it did it, Jerry. It just did it after it got beyond the hole.
It doesn't do you much good.
No, it doesn't.
Kari Webb tied for the lead, 14th tee.
Going with a 5-iron, Natalie hit a 6. Oh, it's a good solid strike, but unfortunately the wind has died right now.
Two curling putts.
Alan Orquist at the 17th. 11 under par.
Anna Nordquist, coached by Henry Rice, who was the gentleman most responsible for the ever-consistent swing of Annika Sorenstam.
Sorenstam, twice a winner here in 2000 and 2002. Nordquist will have that putt to get to 12 under and within one of the current lead, but Inbee Park has this to get to 14 under par at 13.
Yeah, not even quite 4 feet, maybe right lip.
It's just unstoppable. So steady.
One of the prettiest strokes in the game, male or female.
You know, she doesn't make many really poignant statements, but she said, I really want to win again, and that is very unlike Inbee Park.
Stacy Lewis still has this one left for her par. Currently 2 behind with that Inbee Park birdie. Stacy Lewis at 12 under, Natalie Gulbis and Kari Webb 13 under par, but Inbee Park takes that one-shot lead. Final group heading to the tee at the 14th.
Second shot at 18, Paula Creamer. Just a layup here, the par 5. Creamer made a move midway through her round, but has not been able to generate much since then. Kari Webb. That's a birdie try. Good putt. That was a moment ago. And now we're live. Natalie Gulbis, this for birdie to tie the lead.
Complete opposite direction uphill, pretty slow, Rich.
Now, if you're going to have a difficult little short putt, that would be one.
th and a Nordquist. Birdie try, missing out, and that could be very costly. Nordquist was at 11 under. Birdie eagle finish would have got it to 14 under, but now I think the best that she could do will be 13 under. It's going to be tough to make a 3 at the 18th, though. Over to 14.
Par putt now for Natalie Gulbis. This to stay one back. Inbee Park is leading. She's on the tee with a look back here.
Yeah.
Good stroke. Gulbis 13 under. One off the lead. Recari did make her par. Now Inbee Park.
6-iron is the club of choice. Whatever breeze there was has died down at the moment. That's a little left. Going to miss the green on the fly. And that's going to be a spot of bother, as Jane Crafter would say.
That's tough up and down from there. Third shot, 18 for Paula Creamer.
She's disappointed coming to this last green because she certainly seemed as though she might come to this last green with a chance to post a score that would win, but she has to take something from a whole bunch of putts that she's made today.
That's Inbee Park's golf ball. And now Stacy Lewis, maybe with an opening. See if she can take advantage.
Just keep hitting quality iron shots. I know it's hard to stay patient when you only have 5 holes remaining, but she's hitting it so solidly and giving herself chances hole after hole. Here, though, going with 5-iron. So trying maybe to take a little off it. She does not like it. I lost it as it took off.
Seemed to move from the right to the left big time.
Lewis is 12 under, 2 shots back of Inbee Park. And look at number 14.
This is the par 3 that plays from the elevated tee to a green with a big slope from the left. It is 178 yards from the markers to the hole location today. You watch Inbee Park there walk with her caddy, Brad Beecher. They've been together some time. He goes to Japan with her.
15th tee, Natalie Gulbis.
Now, just important to hit the fairway, make your layup second shot a little easier.
Sometimes difficult to keep the ball on the fairway, but it's quite lush this year. In years past, the ball has bounded down into the left rough. I remember a few years ago, they actually let that part of the golf course grow, and the rough was very thick on the left side. Hyo Joo Kim as her third, same hole. Oh, nice bounce up onto the correct tier. Hyo Joo Kim is at 11 under, still not out of the golf tournament.
She played in the LPGA event in Hawaii earlier this season, the Lotte Championship. She tied for 12th there, so she proves to be a factor whenever she gets in.
Yeah, that was the first time we got to see Hyo Joo Kim. Recari Webb, tee shot at the 15th.
Yeah, that's a good solid shot starting up the right center.
It's going to kick down, I think, stay on the fairway. So Inbee Park with a one-shot lead. Bit of trouble, though, for the final group at the 14th. We'll see how they handle it when we come back.
And at the 14th hole, final round of the Evian Masters, this one of the prestigious titles in women's golf, and it is very much up for grabs. Stacy Lewis, poor tee shot at 14. She's 2 shots back.
And that was just a nasty lie. Grass snarled all around it. Actually caught it very nicely, but green slopes away. It's going to race by.
Seventeenth hole, Fengh for a birdie to 12 under par, not out of this golf tournament yet, but needs to make this one. And she's made it. We could have our first Chinese winner of the Evian Masters. Back to 14.
Inbee Park.
Much better lie, a little bit of an uphill lie, ball setting up, but she bounced that into it.
Inbee Park in jeopardy of dropping a shot here. She's 14 under. Webb and Gulbis playing ahead are 13 under.
Some places are so difficult that even getting a teach right ahead of your shot doesn't help.
It's a birdie putt now for Paula Creamer at 18. So 34-36 for Paula Creamer. 2 under par 70. 10 under total, and she's tied for 9th. Inbee Park, this to save par.
Very slow and very straight.
She make another one?
Oh,
wow.
My goodness.
I mean, be kidding. This is Faxon Crenshaw stuff here.
At this point in time, right now, today, if those two wonderful putters were looking at this, they'd take this stroke, I think.
It's just lights out on the green. And Hyoung Park, inspired by Ernie Els to put the anchored putter in play. Stacy Lewis, pressure on now to make.
And she hasn't made many.
Yeah, she
like
certainly
that.
looks like she has stroked it well today, Jerry, and hasn't come up with very many.
It was a little disconcerting last night to see her working on mechanics before the final round.
So Stacy Lewis drops to 11 under and 3 back. Inbee Park with a huge par save at 14. Golf Channel and the LPGA Tour proudly bringing you final round coverage of the Evian Masters from Evian-les-Bains, France. Eastern part of the country, it is the only LPGA stop in continental Europe. We're about an hour from Geneva, Switzerland, right on the border of the two countries. And we've had a great final round. The 11th hole, Natalie Gulbis. She made 2 early bogeys, started the day 1 back, and did she ever fight back, Judy?
Boy, did she ever. That birdie at the par 4 11th and a succession of par 4s, some of the tougher holes on the golf course.
Second shot at number 12. Plays it perfectly. And an easy birdie for Natalie. Birdied 13 now, playing alongside Kari Webb. Chip shot. And do that, Kari Webb. One of the legends of the game. 38 career wins. And at the same hole, Inbee Park. Silky smooth.
And that's a great save.
Every putt has just died in the center. So it's Inbee Park, 2008 U.S. Women's Open champion by 1 over Webb and Gulbis. Natalie has just one victory to her career, and it came right here at Evian in 2007. Terrific international leaderboard, as is almost always the case on the LPGA Tour. Joined by World Golf Hall of Fame member Judy Rankin with Tom Abbott, Jerry Foltz, and Jane Crafter. Before huge crowds here in France. This will become a major championship next year.
Hyo Joo Kim moves to 12 under par. Now Natalie Gulbis has laid up at the 15th. This is her third to the par 5.
And pitching wedge from 121, hole on 17 paces today.
Way gripped down on that pitching wedge, a good 2 or 3 inches.
Wonderful, wonderful shot from Natalie Gulbis. She won't know exactly how close that ball is until she strides up the hill, back on the tee, Inbee Park.
A little bit of breeze helping, but still a 3-shot hole. Another solid one, just not missing a beat.
That one bounding along. Able to keep it up the right side of the fairway, which isn't always easy to do, with the huge slope from right to left. Same hole, Recari Webb with her third.
7 yards closer, also with a little grip pitching wedge.
And that is not going to quite climb up the slope. Tough to call a winner. Inbee Park looks very steady. Great par save at the 14th. And the Korean has a 1-shot lead. Back at the 15th hole, Recari Webb trailing Inbee Park by a shot, but she has this for a birdie.
Playing it to go a little right to left. Alas, it did not.
Yet again, players are fooled by this 15th putting surface.
If the putting surface were not to be changed, I could probably earn my fare over here by letting players see what we see here in the booth.
And a Nordqvist to post 12 under. She will be the leader in the clubhouse. Talented Swede who won the LPGA Championship as a rookie.
Gulbis with the birdie putt at 15.
And Tom, a delicate one it is from the back of the green downhill, just sliding ever so slightly to the right.
Slightest of margins.
Wow. That looked good for a very long time.
That was a very good putt. She seemed to hit it exactly on the line she chose. The speed was correct. You know, every now and then a good one simply does not go if it's not in the dead center.
Still smiling.
Sayri Pak. Respectable tournament for Sayri Pak, one of the game's all-time great champions. She will take a reprieve from the game, fix her shoulder, though it looked pretty good this week.
She's going to have one more MRI because they're still not convinced that it is something serious or not. So anyway, we wish her good luck and hope to see her before the season ends.
Recari Webb makes her par at the 15th, remains at 13 under, so both Webb and Gulbis walk to the 16th, having missed opportunities there on the par 5. And we'll go to 16 in the fairway now.
Hyo Joo Kim.
Ideal position off the tee at 16, the left side in the fairway, and she does not take advantage of that good position. This is a very short par 4, and position off the tee is all that really matters.
Fengh having a go at 18.
The ball well below her feet. Hazard to the right.
What a strike.
Kind of a bad break. What a good shot. Not a really hard bunker shot, though, from there.
Well, birdie to get to 13. You never know.
15th hole, Stacy Lewis has laid up. This is her third.
She has laid up. She also hit the crack driver off the tee, which was just shocking to me, and still came up some 25 yards behind Inbee Park with the tee shot. So it really is affecting her distance because she normally drives it on average about 5-6 yards past. That from 111, who was this hole yesterday, that put an exclamation point on her struggles when she made double. But that's nice.
Stacy Lewis driving average this season 264 yards off the tee.
And the longer players are what, about 275, 280?
Yeah, you're talking the bombers now.
Yeah.
We call Stacy Lewis one of the longer players.
Inbee Park now is her third.
Just 95 yards. I need a good 8 or 10 more uphill. That's going to fly at least all the way there.
Needs to sit down. Stacy Lewis has a chance for a birdie, which would get her to 12 under. Inbee Park could chip it in. Be the first player to 15 under this week. Back in a moment.
Hyo Joo Kim, third shot, par 4, 16th.
Ball appears to sit up okay. Very good.
17-year-old amateur sensation from Korea has won professionally already in Korea and Japan, and contending here. This a moment ago. Third shot to the par 5 18th. Fengh is 2 shots back.
Just want to land it up above the hole, right of the hole on the line, just short of the hole, and let it try to trickle.
Look out. Wow. That's an eagle for Fengh, and she is tied for the lead at 14 under.
Better than I imagined it.
Huge crowds here.
The crowds, the colors, the lush green of this beautiful hillside and golf course. It's just it's a great scene.
In every way, they're prepared for that designation, which will come next year, major championship. Crowds, purse, venue, financial commitment.
Well, Inbee Park would have heard the roar. The 18th is very close to the 15th green. It's her fourth.
She did indeed. Using putter from the fringe. She's prone to do that. It's the best club in her bag.
What response that would have been, Jerry.
Oh, I know.
Still going to be a par for Inbee Park. I'm not so sure she will know that Fengh tied the lead. She'll find out pretty quickly. To 16.
Kari Webb.
There's a gap wedge. Not a bad lie in the rough. 100-yard shot.
I just needed a little more out of it. That is a lengthy putt. It has to be close to the 30-foot mark.
th tee, Hyo Joo Kim.
Beautiful grip, beautiful setup. You just can't complain mechanically about anything this young player does.
Hyo Joo Kim is 2 back. There's that one to get to 13 under par.
Good. Big second shot now for Natalie Gulbis. 1 shot back.
Bridge 3 yards closer than Kari, but a much worse lie. This is headed well to the right.
It was a good strike, though. Got a lot of club on ball, and that's not too bad from that lie. Just don't want to make a mistake there. 15.
Stacy Lewis with the birdie. He moves her to 12 under. She's 2 behind. It was a good time for the putter to start working. Remember, this hole yesterday, she made a 7. No problems today, though. Going with the crack driver. What's the problem? She makes a 4. And there they all are around the 18th. Very excited to watch the conclusion of the Evian Masters. The 18th Evian Masters, the last one as a regular tour event. It will become the Evian Championship, known as the Evian, in 2013. 66 from Fengh with an eagle 3, hole out from the bunker at the 18th. Ties Inbee Park, who still has 3 to play.
Touch of pink, Tom, everywhere you look.
Yes, that's the color.
Including your slacks.
Yes, I do have pink trousers on today.
Rather Natalie attired. No surprise. 16.
It's up the left center. Not quite far enough to take the visual intimidation of the tree out of the way that she'll have to play over, but far enough back from it where it won't pose a problem to the flight.
Jerry, you're probably down the fairway, but I don't think she hit the 3-wood. I think it was a little hybrid.
No, it was. I was about 70 yards from the tee. It certainly didn't sound like the 3-wood. Now, Inbee, who on Friday hit driver through the fairway, almost under the shrub, straight through, and then yesterday hit it right up under it. I promised she wouldn't be hitting driver today.
And she is not.
And that's plenty of distance to have a clear line at the green.
Head on the green, Natalie Gulbis. This for birdie. She's a shot back.
Oh, this is the toughest green on the whole golf course to read, but this is going to swing quite a lot from right to left, about 35 feet. Goodness gracious. That is going to be nasty. Putt for par for Natalie. Can't believe she hit it that far past, Judy. Not that much uphill.
Hyo Joo Kim, 17th hole, birdie putt. Just to get within 1. Amateur, 1 behind with 1 hole to play. Are we witnessing the birth of the next great South Korean player?
Back at 16. Now that was probably the wrong spot to get aggressive for Natalie Gulbis.
The difference in up to down, the speed change, is so dramatic that sometimes even players who've been playing on the greens all week and all day don't make that adjustment easily.
Well, it isn't really that much uphill. It's more just kind of across the hill. The hole's kind of setting on just a little bit of a knoll as well, so a tough visual image for Webb now to try and follow and figure out the right pace.
I have to say, I always like to see a big breaking putt hit in a way that it just dies at the hole. I think it is a better way to putt and a safer way to putt. The key there is you must hit the ball on a high enough line.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Curry hit a very nice long putt back on 14. So she has had pretty good pace on the greens today.
Wants it to sit.
Wow. That is hard to believe that 2 players of this caliber can hit such poor putts.
You almost get the feeling from both putts that they felt that they had to be aggressive, had to try to make this putt, rather than it is the kind of putt you just need to nestle and hope it falls.
Plus 17 potential birdie and then 18 birdie or eagle. Hyo Joo Kim.
beautiful golf swing, beautiful tee shot at the par 5, and even though it's just in that first cut of rough, if she's close enough to take a go, that's almost an advantage.
Huge putt, Natalie Gulbis for par to remain one back. Is a brutally disappointing 3-putt for Natalie Gulbis. Dropping 2 shots back. Shen Fengh in the house at 14 under, so Natalie will need to play the final 2 in 2 under.
And Rich, there is a scoreboard right here, so both Natalie and Kari could see exactly what Inbee and Shen have done. Now, a little bit easier putt on this angle for Kari than Natalie, but will certainly be slightly back uphill and should work to her right.
Excuse me, Jane.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say this is a huge putt right now.
Yeah, she's absolutely got the firepower to try to go at the 18th hole with a good tee shot, so this is so important.
Well, and she's birdied 17 2 out of 3 days, so...
Needs it. Gets
good
it.
stroke.
Gets it. Had to have it. One back. Made plenty of those in her career.
7-time major champion.
And look at 16, final pairing.
It's just 311 yards, and the circles are where you would choose to put your shot from the tee. You play right uphill to a green that you do not see the surface of the green, and the whole location at 16 today is only 12 feet from the left edge of the green.
Stacy Lewis.
Just 95 yards, ball above her feet would help it move left, but with the lofted wedge, it's not going to do it much. Good clean contact.
Good shot. A decent look.
Not the hardest putt from the fringe there. It's about 2 feet longer than the par putt that Kari Webb just made.
Lewis 2 shots back of Shen Fengh and Inbee Park.
And Inbee Park can certainly get this one close. Only 71 yards to the hole.
Nice play.
The idea for the trio of architects who are reworking this golf course and the finishing holes is to make the finish very exciting. American architect Steve Smyers heads up the 3. They're pretty exciting right now.
We're seeing evidence of that. Back with more in a moment.
Back at the 17th with Kari Webb, 1 behind Shen Fengh and Inbee Park.
Today playing 117, but theory about 105. Just a middle wedge. It's a good looking shot. Just left of the flag.
Seen a lot of good tee shots today.
Second shot now at 18 for amateur Hyo Joo Kim. Only 1 shot back.
And that's just a layup. She wasn't in a spot where she felt comfortable trying to take a go at the green, and quite honestly, I can't give you an accurate yardage, but she's in a perfect spot now for a short shot in.
17th tee, Natalie Gulbis.
Oh, she's birdied this hole every day, Tom. Clearly very comfortable with the distance here. It's also just a gap wedge. Well, this is a beauty.
It certainly is, Jane. So Gulbis trying to get back that shot she dropped at the 16th. If she does, she'll move to 13 under and only be one behind. Let's go to 16.
She could use this one for birdie. Stacy Lewis. Bingo. Not done yet, Stacy Lewis to 13 under and a shot back.
Back-to-back birdies, and I thought that ball had just jumped off the putting surface, but it was actually on the green.
Birdie putt for Inbee Park. It's for the outright lead. What a putting display. Just sensational.
The speed, you mentioned it earlier, has been nearly perfect on every putt we've watched roll.
Makes this birdie putt important.
Good to see Kari making putts again, Judy. She's always been such a good ball striker, but that putter has let her down a few too many times this year.
Yeah, everyone would look out just a little bit if she became a confident putter once again.
Well, the stroke is looking very, very solid right now.
Second shot on the way at 18 for Christy Kerr. And I don't know if it stayed up. And if this does become a long par 4, I think you'll see players lose the tournament as opposed to players grabbing it and winning it with an eagle or a birdie. It's up for debate as to which is the better way to go.
Speaking of winning the golf tournament, Natalie Gulbis needs to make this one. Needs to get to 13 under.
Tom, there's not much in it. If anything, it might just eke a little to the right.
Natalie's 2 behind. At the moment, it looks like she needs to make an eagle at the 18th. It's going to be a tough ask. But you never know. Inbee Park with a one-shot lead, standing on the 17th tee. Back at the 17th hole, Stacy Lewis.
Just a little gap wedge, a little left of the hole.
Give himself a chance for birdie. The putter has worked at the 15th and the 16th, 2 birdies. Needs to work again on the 17th green. Now the leader, Inbee Park.
I believe this is a pitching wedge. Swings certainly look like it. Ball taken off straight at it again.
Playing like a champion. And Inbee Park with a chance to move to 16 under. Give herself a 2-shot advantage depending on what Kari Webb does at the 18th.
Here is Kari Webb.
Well, I've got to start it down the left side and let it eke to the right with the slope. Well, she seems to like it. Pretty good solid shot. Just depends on the kick, Rich.
Love to watch her swing the club.
Yeah, and always holds that driver just up off the ground for the takeaway. The idea is that you get it away a little more smoothly than when you have it on the ground behind the ball at rest.
And ahead, third shot, Hyo Joo Kim. How about this golf swing?
I think she is a beautiful golfer, and when I learned that she just turned 17 this month, I mean, it's fabulous.
All right, Natalie Gulbis, very likely needing eagle.
And this one started a little further left than Kari's.
Number 17.
Stacy Lewis for a birdie. Needs it. Not able to make it. With Inbee Park a short distance away for birdie. Looks as though Stacy's chances of victory are slipping away rather quickly.
And the first round was a beautiful walk in the park, a round of 63, the best of her professional career. And it was really hard to imagine that she wouldn't go on in the same fashion. She backed it up with 69, but a couple of problems in the round yesterday. The third round, a round of 73.
Well, I've had wonderful galleries here this week. Folks embracing this tournament, coming from all over Europe to watch the Evian Masters. And they've watched a very impressive display from Inbee Park today. Started at 11 under, dropped a shot at the third. Birdies at 5, 7, 9, 10, 13, 16. Did bogey the 11th. But the putter has been red hot. See if it can work again here at the 17th.
I mean, in a Tuesday match, you wouldn't even make her putt it after this putting display today, Tom. She got a great read, had to actually move her mark, so she's on the identical line to Stacy, right edge. And I couldn't fathom her missing one after what we witnessed today.
No doubt. And Inbee Park will have a two-shot lead playing the 18th. Just has to keep her eye on Recari Webb, who could make an eagle and get to 16 under.
Christy Kerr at 18 chops it out. It's quite a shot.
And the majority of this crowd has gathered around the 18th on the hillside at the left, around the green at the right, behind the green in the grandstands, and they really are enjoying the spectacle of the finish of the Evian Masters.
Good.
Natalie will lay up here.
She has a pretty bad lie over here in the left rough.
Yep.
He had 226 all the way to the hole, 206 to the front.
I think you can see from some of the golf today why I would say that Natalie Gulbis is slightly underrated as a player. The golf swing is a little bit the golf swing she had when she was a little girl. It doesn't look like quite the Iron Byron that so many swings look like today, but the young woman can play.
And even if she doesn't win a lot of tournaments, just one, she's important out here. She is a very popular player and highly coveted on Pro-Am Day by the corporations who support the LPGA Tour.
You bet. As we look at this par 5 that's 477 yards, the creek crosses in front of this green, well in front of this green, as a matter of fact, but certainly in play for anyone who goes at the green in 2. Also the creek on the right, and that's where you saw Christy Kerr play her third shot from a moment ago.
You see these big crowds. 400,000 members of the French Golf Federation, which is sort of the equivalent of the USGA. A tremendous support from those members for the French Ryder Cup bid. Ryder Cup will come to Paris Golf National in 2018. There's a good roll by Christy Kerr.
Celebrate what you can get.
Round of even par. And all 400,000 members contributed a small bit of money to support that Ryder Cup bid. Competing with Spain, Portugal, Germany, and the Dutch. Time to let your hair down. They're going to Italy, Christy and her husband. They love their wines.
And it'd be interesting to talk to Christy and her husband Eric about this experience, playing alongside Hyo Joo Kim. The barely 17-year-old is most impressive.
I think Tom was right. This may be the next great Korean star. Who knows, potentially a dominant figure.
And yes, you can wear braces and still be a star.
So young and yet so poised.
That one for a round of 68 today. This young player has shot rounds of 69, 68, 69, 68. Tip your hat.
And close in her bid to become, we believe, the first amateur to have ever won on 3 different professional tours, already with victories in Korea and Japan. A big second shot now for Kari Webb.
Well, this shot of Kari's 204 yards to the front, 224 to the hole. It is a decent lie. It is not the best lie I've ever seen in the rough, but she knows now that she has to give this a go.
I like this, Jane, because her career is in a place where she can take a chance and see if she can't put the pressure on.
Oh, this is good contact, but it's headed left.
That was too late with the camera as well.
That was the voice of her caddy, Mike. I know that voice well, and apparently he was reprimanding someone that just gotten in part in the swing with a camera click, but regardless, she is short of hole high and in some pretty thick rough.
Well, Judy, the still cameramen are allowed in the fairway here, which is not so on the LPGA.
Inbee Park.
The question I had here with Inbee was whether she was going to play as a 3-shot hole from the tee, and she is not. She's going to hit the driver.
Was it a little right?
Just a little bit. And that's where the fairway cuts in, right where Kari Webb was.
Not a problem.
Might make her decision, though, don't you think, Jerry?
That might have just made it for her, correct.
That is not the great tee shot that she hit yesterday when she put her second about 8 feet from the hole at 18.
So much great color here. They have really dressed up Evian. Playing with that cracked driver, Stacy Lewis.
Yeah, it's costing her. Well, it didn't cost her too much on that one, but normally it does.
Probably depends on just where the ball makes impact with the club face. Not what you would choose, though, when you got a lot at stake.
Third shot now for Natalie Gulbis.
Sandwich from 91 yards, just on a slight downslope. Plenty of green to work with.
Beautiful shot. She's played well today. Bogeys at 2 and 3, but then really fought back. It's a 3-putt at 16 hurt. Bounced back with a birdie at 17, but right now it's Inbee Park by 2. Third shot now at 18 for Kari Webb. Webb is 2 shots back at Inbee Park. Let's see if there's any magic.
Oh, this is just a gorgeous golf shot right here.
For eagle? Wow, what an effort.
I'll tell you what, she is underrated around the greens. That took a lot of courage to play that shot.
Magnificent shot from thick rough right down the slope. All kinds of things could happen, and she did it right on the money.
She's been impressive. Bounce in her step. Chance to post 15 under. And who knows, maybe Park makes a mistake behind. One more time.
Open the blade, take the big swinging stroke that's full of tempo. The ball lands gently.
I think today we just chance to watch Kari Webb, and we're reminded how good she has been through the years. She has all the shots. Second shot now, Inbee Park.
Excellent lie. She only had 215 front, but I was happy to see for her to pull out an iron. The layup here is the widest part of the fairway, and that's easily going to find it.
Sensible shot. 2-shot lead. Certainly one of the great putting displays we've seen all year. And birdie try now for Natalie Gulbis.
She has not played well in recent weeks. This is a great week for Natalie.
Yes. And good finish, Natalie Gulbis. That'll be a pretty big paycheck as well.
Only glimmer for her this year was a final round 65 at the Kraft Nabisco, which earned her a top 10 finish.
Well, this group has been very impressive to watch, Judy. There's been no give up in either of them. They've fed off each other. And this shot of Kari's was one of the best I've seen in the circumstance.
Lest they forget, she showed them something today.
Oh, indeed.
Those two good friends, it would have been a terrific pairing. It's one of those where you're comfortable with somebody. You can talk. You don't have to talk. There are no issues. Let's just play golf.
Great tournament. Kari Webb, 67. Right now, she's second, alone. Natalie's tied for third.
Standard bearer, the scorer. Kari thanking everyone.
Forget, too, Natalie is a savvy businesswoman as well. She is well sponsored. Second shot, Stacy Lewis.
Good line, 201 front, 221 hole. Has to try and force an eagle here and then hope for some help. A bullet at the left center of the green.
She likes it. Why wouldn't you? Sensational shot, Stacy Lewis.
It's a small target, and we have seen some really, really good second shots into this green.
We've seen some great golf today.
These terrific athletes rise to the occasion when there is so much excitement and so much interest.
And that scene right there, grandstands filled, certainly looks and feels like a major. And it will be one next year. It'll move to the middle of September. There have been different majors through the years on the LPGA Tour, going all the way back. 1930, and the old Western Open was a major. The title holders was a major. Du Maurier in Canada. And here's the leader, Inbee Park. One shot lead on Kari Webb.
And a mistake here would be inexplicable. Only 77 yards, a little bit of an uphill lie. That is always preferred, even if you were nervous, and she doesn't appear to be so one bit.
Comfortable spot right there, and just two putts for the Evian Masters title for Inbee Park, who has given us a putting display that you just don't often see. Golf Channel's presentation of the Evian Masters, presented by Societe Generale, is brought to you by Evian, live young, and by Bridgestone Golf, bridging the gap between you and the pros. Coming to the close of what has been quite a day here at the Evian Masters. Stacy Lewis began tied for the lead with Inbee Park, and really the difference has been the putter. Jerry Foltz is with this final group. Jerry, just the atmosphere with all of these fans, just sort of from your viewpoint, what have you seen?
It's pretty incredible. And I echo what Judy said yesterday. Very knowledgeable fans for a country that doesn't host a lot of professional golf, but massive in size, very polite. Yeah, a major, absolutely, rightfully so. Now Stacy studied the leaderboard as she walked up on the green, knows that this would be at worst a tie for second if she's able to get it to go, but it is so fast.
This for a glimmer of hope. Do that, Stacy Lewis. No quit. in the Razorback, University of Arkansas product, third-ranked player in the world. And right now, America's best.
And her finish here will not hurt when it comes to end-of-the-year honors.
It appeared as though Yanni Sen had a lock on Rolex Player of the Year honors. 3 early wins, but Yanni is in a real tailspin right now, missing a second cut in 3 tournaments, scoring average over the last 4 tournaments of 75. So now the stage belongs to Inbee Park. 2 putts for the win. She's made everything else today. Why not one more? I mean, Judy, I don't know that I've seen a putting display this good in 2012 anywhere. Inbee Park has won the Evian Masters 2012.
I could tell from Jerry's laugh that he and I are going for lessons.
Get in line. I'll be right there. Her first win on the LPGA Tour since the U.S. Open of 2008.
She shows so little emotion, but she is a very, very sweet young 24-year-old.
She will collect the second biggest prize in women's golf outside of the U.S. Open. It is a first prize of $487,500. Well, Judy, that was quite a display on the greens. I mean, I don't think I've seen somebody with speed control that good all year long.
I agree with you. I mean, it was, the word syrupy comes to mind. Everything about the way she putted gave you the feeling that she could do it on the next green and on the next green.
She won the 2008 U.S. Women's Open. At that point, had you expected her to be a multiple winner? And what sort of kept her out of the winner's circle the last few years?
She played very much at the U.S. Open the way she played today. There were no mistakes. There was just no way for another player to get in. I remember Helen Alfredson was one of those trying to get in the mix on Sunday at that U.S. Open. But yeah, you did expect things to happen from the then 20-year-old that won the U.S. Open, but it was quiet. She didn't make it happen again. She has been successful in Japan over those years a couple of times, and she's been a moneymaker. She's been a good player, but the wins were not coming. And she talked this week for the first time that I've ever heard her talk in a press room where she really said something emphatic, and she said, I really want to win again.
Your impressions of the Evian Masters, which will become just the Evian next year, a major championship?
Well, it is my first time here, so this is a new perspective, but it is a fabulous event. It's a magical place as far as the views, as far as the people, as far as the food, and I can only imagine if you're a player how you're treated here.
Yeah, and you're off to Paris, not a bad spot.
I am.
All right, several players having good weeks here, and they qualify for the season ender. It is their version of the Tour Championship. The CME Group title holders from Naples, Florida, Paula Creamer. Natalie Gulbis played really beautiful golf. We haven't seen Natalie in contention a whole lot. Beatriz, Recari of Spain. So we'll see all of those and many more in Naples. And LPGA, with the wind at its back, so many great players from around the world. And a nice tournament, Atahara Munoz. Well, the hits just keep coming on the Golf Channel. Next week, it is the WGC Bridgestone Invitational. Tiger Woods, Rory McIlroy, Phil Mickelson, all the greats will be there. Coverage beginning Thursday, 1:30 Eastern Time. Safeway Classic, LPGA, back in the U.S., out in the Northwest. Friday, August 17th. Well, many thanks to all of our gracious hosts here in France. We look forward to coming back next year when it becomes a major championship. Great thanks to Beth Hutter, leading all of the hardworking women and men in the truck and on the ground here in France. For Judy Rankin, Tom Abbott, Jane Crafter, and Jerry Foltz, I'm Rich Lerner, saying so long from Evian, where Inbee Park has won the Evian Masters.
This has been a presentation on the only worldwide network dedicated to the game, Golf Channel, part of NBC Sports.